Avast and ahoy and good day once again to ye mateys! I be Josh the Pirate, and it brings me a treasure chest full of pleasure to welcome you once again to Corsair's Cove for our inciting incident. Ep1 of a new story in my Humblewood world of monsters and magic. Above me, I have me hearty crew, the nifty Nikolai Kravchenko, the jaunty Josh Towns, the keen-eyed Karen Schlink, and the brilliant Brendan Ellis. Okay, well, let's talk about these wonderful people. Guys, tell me who the heck you are and where we can find you. Let's begin with Nikolai, shall we? Nikolai, who are you?
Hi, as has been said, I am Nikolai. I kind of float around from D&D stream to D&D stream, you know, between Corsair's Cove and Roll for Damage. So you'll probably find me at one of those two places.
Fair enough. Yeah, we need to get you back to finish off that one-shot that is going to be a two-shot.
Yes.
Yeah, that one shot that very much wasn't a one shot.
Yeah.
But you have a thirsty audience that wants more of it. Alrighty. Josh, tell me about yourself, my friend.
Yes, well, as you said, my name is Josh. I do a lot of fun, interesting, wonderful things, mostly on stage, mostly making a fool of myself, but utterly enjoying myself all the same. I have a link tree somewhere in the chat that you can find all of my wonderful shenanigans that are on display. I'm keen to have some
Marvelous.
fun.
And Karen, talk about yourself for a while.
Oh, I am Karen, otherwise known as the Mother O' Bunnies on Twitch and on Twitter. You can also follow my burlesque alter ego, Miss Larimar, on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, I'll be back on Roll for Damage at some point to finish off Nikolai's one shot that is now a two shot. But yeah, for the time being, I will be right here trying to fill the Academy of Xandar shaped hole in my life with Humblewood. And I am very excited.
With about half the cast of Academy of Xandar as well. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm in a live show on the 3rd of October at the Roseman Hotel, if anyone's interested. It's called Cinema La Balesca.
Delicious. And Brendan, tell me about yourself, my friend. Who are you?
I'm Brendan. I am an actor, director, DM, D&D player. My burlesque show is coming soon, so stay tuned for that. It's not.
Thank you for clarity. The audience was getting excited.
I was getting excited.
I could tell.
I'm going to make you up a stage name, Brendan.
Oh, they're percolating. Don't you worry about it. I'm sure that by the end of this show, we'll have a few. I've been playing D&D for ages. I've been playing D&D with Josh for ages, and it's only taken him this long to invite me onto a stream. So thanks for that.
I now have full creative freedom. That's partially why I started Corsair's Cove. Leave me alone. Brendan is one of the two guys who taught me to play. So I believe we're in safe hands there. And Ivy...
Or you could say it's 50% Brendan's fault.
It is probably
I would say that.
Yeah.
There are so many dice in my house, Brendan. There are dice everywhere.
You're welcome.
She currently spends at least one night a week playing D&D online for the enjoyment of others and herself. So yeah, look, it is mostly Matt Bus has an awful lot to answer for, but Brendan did not help. So
I'm known for not
guys,
helping.
and I am Josh the Pirate, co-owner, proprietor of Corsair's Cove, and your humble DM for this evening. If you like my face and voice, you can find me over on Roll for Damage on Monday nights for the Humblewood campaign, although I also program one-shot Wednesdays between Corsair's Cove and Roll for Damage, with sort of brother channels. And beyond that, if you like the voice but you think I could stand to turn the face down a bit, you can find my vocal stylings on the podcast There Be Dragons, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Skern Felspar and his little dragon Rush. And the Mother of Bunnies is Ryland Westfall there as well. In fact, I think we've got a TBD. There you go. If you want to check it out, therebedragonscast.com. Well, mateys, I think we should probably best get into it. We do also need to thank our lovely friend Serum76 who is probably in chat. He usually is.
Yes,
Because Serum did overlay for us because I didn't have time, and he's a bloody legend. So thank you very much for Serum. Mateys, may your rolls be served with a wide variety of marmalades, and all your booty be shaken on the dance floor as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. So, as we begin this new adventure, we return to the great tree in the center of the wood, the Alderheart, capital city of the Humblewood, and comfortably the largest tree anyone has ever seen. The place is suffused with a sense of hope for the first time in quite a while. The aspect of fire has been vanquished and driven back to the plane of fire, its minions scattered, leaderless, and cut off from their power. The great capital itself escaped mostly unscathed from the fires, but many of its inhabitants did not, and the week since the final battle has been a fraught one, for all the positivity in the air. Society in the wood has been pushed to breaking point by the stresses of the twin issues of the Scorched Grove and the Bandit Coalition. The people divided, and the humble folk isolated and disillusioned. But, thanks to the heroic defenders of Alderheart, Trish Caper, Jude Littlefoot, Bannock, and Nevermore, son of the famous adventurer Lazarus, the Scorched Grove has once again been tamed, and the Bandit Coalition has been disbanded, many of its members taking up new ranks and titles in the Wildwood Brigade. And it is into this divided world we enter. Alderheart is an enormous place. The tree is nearly 1 kilometer high, and its branches span nearly 2 kilometers in every direction. Think Home Tree from Cameron's Avatar, and you won't be far wrong, except there aren't as many blue monkeys. Within this mighty edifice are markets to rival anywhere in the Everden, taverns, inns, spas, and any other cosmopolitan convenience you can think of, centers of learning and research, the seat of government, and the headquarters of most of the major institutions in the Humblewood, including the Perch Guard, the Tenders, and the High Chapel of the Amaranthites, which are our deities in this world. And now we need to meet some of our characters. So, Arthur, what do you look like, and what would you be doing with your time now you're just hanging out in the Humblewood, in the Alderheart?
So Arthur is a really scraggly looking grey goose. He's got a broken beak, a bunch of scars over him. He usually wears workman's clothes and a flat cap. Usually carries around a railway hammer with him as protection, of course, because Arthur used to be a bandit, and he was not a good person, not a good bird at all. And he's made a lot of enemies. He's trying to avoid any vices that might make him fight.
Fair enough.
He's avoiding taverns, but probably veering towards one anyway.
Right. Well, if Arthur finds himself in a tavern, he'd probably look for a nicer tavern, one that is less likely to cause trouble in. Probably one of the finest taverns that is, reasonably good reputation, probably wouldn't cause any significant ruckus. And if one did happen, the bartender is well known for keeping a lid on things, would be the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered, proprietor by the famous Strig barman Trillo, who is a well-known brewmaster as well. He created the world-famous Dirty Squiz pint, which is I leave it to Tristan to fully describe it, but it's got a complicated palate, and it's a very delicious beer. So yeah, you'd probably be finding yourself in the Hung, Drawn, and Quartered, if you fancied that.
Yeah, all right. I'll have a whatever the house special is, and just add a dash of rum to it.
Alrighty then. Yes, Trillo says, "Oh, the house special, lad. Well, the house special would be a dirty squiz, but I wouldn't go adding rum to that. You'd probably be looking for. I could get you a golden ale that'd go quite pleasantly with a shot of rum, with a bit of a boiler maker there."
All right. Yeah.
He pours you a golden ale and a shot of rum, but he doesn't pour the rum into the golden ale. He puts it separately and puts them both on the bar. And he also puts a small bowl of peanuts next to them, just in case.
Arthur immediately starts draining the wine, chases it with rum, and maybe like just takes the peanuts and tries to like
No fighting. All right, find a booth.
All right, so you go and sit in the booth. There is a lively trio of bards on the stage, a hedge and a pair of Luma girls, having a nice old sing. The girls appear to be twins and are nightingale in appearance. For those new to the Humblewood, all the inhabitants are animal folk of various type. Arthur being a goose. The Lumas tend to be sort of pigeon dove sort of things, with the occasional nightingale. The third member of the band is a hedge with a lute, a hedgehog person. So yeah, that is what you see. It's not particularly full. It's only about sort of 1-2 in the afternoon. The lunch rush is pretty much finished. And now there's just a few people having a quiet pint and listening to some pleasant music. Would there be anything else you'd like to do, or you just sort of try and keep your head down?
Arthur's looking around just to see if there's like any people that he might have had run-ins in the past, like through his bandit days. He's mainly kind of sketchy about that.
Alrighty, make a perception check. Have a look around.
Alright.
That'll be in that 20.
Nice. Yeah.
First roll of the...
God damn it.
Wow. We're
This-
all downhill from
Yeah.
here.
You cannot improve on that. Good to know. Alrighty. Yeah. D20s, nat 20s in chat. Yes. It's a real shame because there just wasn't anybody to see. You don't see anybody you recognize that might be problematic for you. So, yeah. It's pretty chill day for Arthur. Trillo looks at you, sort of makes a sort of beverage gesture, queryingly, and
Keep him covering.
and he comes over with another pint and another shot of rum.
If the glass is empty, just bring another.
He said-
Arthur just
He recognizes that you do have the badge of a Wildwood Brigadier on your shoulder, and he says, "Just be taking it a bit slow there, lad. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that, you might be on duty soon. I don't know what your work schedule's like."
This is a necessity. This is fuel. Get the fires burning.
Ah, I see. All right, I'm with you. I'll still be, just take it easy, all right? Don't want no trouble now. But he does keep the beverages flowing reasonably smoothly. Cool. Alrighty. Well, Javier, what do you do? How do you spend your time?
Well, in this country, this place is small for me. I am a big black-furred elk. Yeah, I am quite intimidating of a presence, but I am a bit of a softy at heart. Fighting fires, helping the people. It's hard work, but it's honest work. So I spend my time making friends by staring at them for extended periods of time and hoping it works. Yes, so essentially in this place, everywhere I go is my domain, and if anyone has a problem with that, well, that's them problem and not me. Yeah, that's about the gist of it.
Very well. So how would you be spending your time? What would you be actively doing?
Oh, well, obviously making friends. So, I too would go to some tavern and have a look around and see what little people I could stare at and offer my support in all sorts of things. But yes, I'm not much of a drinker, but definitely much of an eater. So I'd find a nice patch of wild fruit or berries or something, and I just gorge myself. And any little critter nearby would get stared at, and they're my friend now. But I'd be eating a lot.
Very well. Yeah, one of the you would probably be interested more in an inn than a tavern, and one of the better inns you would be directed to by one of your little friends that you meet along the way would be the Blade and Talon, which is in the it's in the trunk. Not so much in the high branches. The Older Heart Society is rather stratified, so the higher up you go, the fancier people you find. So the trunk is where sort of the middle classes live, and so you find good stuff, but not like fancy stuff. Interestingly, the proprietor of the Blade and Talon is actually a small Luma woman named Fancy. But that's short for Fancilla. And Fancilla does a fine tasting platter of teas. She also does a very good sort of afternoon high tea sort of situation. So there would be teas served, a round of teas served with finger sandwiches and muffins. She is particularly famous for her muffins, actually. Savory, particularly. Streaky back bacon muffins. Oh, bellissimo. Yeah, so you would probably find yourself there and indulging in Fancy's cares. Yeah, she is an eager host and isn't in any way upset by the sort of the heavy staring and breathing that this enormous elk man makes. Most of the furniture is a little too small for you, but you I imagine you're used to making do with that sort of situation.
Yes, I'm moose to it.
Oh dear. He's even in the same spot as Mitch's. Oh no. Yeah. You don't have any children, do you, Josh? You're not a father yet. All right. Eric.
Not that I'm aware of.
Eric, what do you spend your time doing on a day-to-day basis?
Eric is a jet black feathered corvum, more of a crow than a raven. Tends to keep to himself a lot of the time. He is a bit scrawny. He has one orangey red feather just on his cheek, but otherwise tends to get around in brown robes with a hood. I think he would be in the Scorched Grove, being a tender as he is, fulfilling the duties that he has been assigned this day.
Very well. In which case, Eric, I'm afraid to tell you, you have been recalled to Alderheart. The Scorched Grove being the best part of a half day's travel from the great city. Yes, you're one of your senior tenders, Havel, has recalled you for a special meeting with one of the council members. Your presence has been requested. So yeah, you were out before, but a runner came from Alderheart to come fetch you. And Havel meets you at the gates. Havel is a gallus. He looks like a chicken, basically. He's a hen, not a hen, sorry, a cockerel. He's quite a what's the word I'm looking for? Quite slim and slender. He's not a particularly vigorous man, but he makes up for that with his wide breadth of knowledge. And he says, Eric, good to see you. Thanks for coming back so soon. Yeah, the council's got a gig for you, my friend.
I don't know about any gigs. I'm quite content just tending the Scorched Grove. I don't know what I could offer to any gig.
Well, I'll be honest, I actually put you forward for this. I think it's right up your alley. So we're talking quite an important job. One of the council members themselves, Larimar, she came down and asked me specifically who I had, who was like a specialist in dealing with elementals particularly. I know that's something of an affinity of yours, so yours was the first name that came to mind, actually. Don't worry, you're not going to be out there by yourself. She's assembling a team. So you'll have guards and so forth. I believe she's sending a reasonably high-ranked member of the Wildwood Brigade out with you.
Oh, okay. No pressure or anything.
No, no pressure. You know how we are.
Eric kind of brings his hood up over his face and a part of his face that has been scorched, where there's no feathers really growing back there.
Yeah.
Which he seems to be self-conscious of.
Sure. He says to you, you did see Susan about those burns, right? She could probably fix you up if you want.
Well, perhaps, but I like to be reminded of the danger of the elements,
Sure.
as I'm sure you understand.
Yes, he does. A dark look crosses his face, actually, and you would be aware. His partner Tevor was lost in the Scorched Grove 3 weeks ago. So he is acutely aware. He needs no scars to remind himself of quite how bad it can be out there. Tevor, and this is for everybody, including the audience, Tevor gave their life to allow the defenders of Alderheart to escape the aspect of fire the first time they encountered it. And he was mate is not quite the correct word, but he was he was Tevor's partner. He was Havel's partner. Yeah, Havel has since continued on in Tevor's place, doing his best, and done a valiant job.
I apologize. I misspoke.
No, that's all right. People are watching their words around me, and honestly, there's no need. I appreciate it, though. Thank you. Cool. And Kesh, how would you be spending your day?
Well, I am. Let's say for flavour that it's Kesh's day off. So she
Sure.
had a bit of a sleep in, late breakfast, got some errands done, and now she just finds herself in the afternoon thinking it's about time for, bite to eat.
Sure.
Late lunch. Take the weight off the old feet for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Where would Kesh head for head for a feed? So the Blade and Talon is actually the place that the defenders hung out. They are not currently in residence, however. And you haven't seen your old buddy Trish in about 5-6 days. And it doesn't upset you none necessarily. Trish gets about, but in a nice way.
And in a dirty way.
And in a dirty way, actually. Yeah, there's one in every port. But yeah, where would you go for a feed? You are a major in the Wildwood Brigade, so there is a barracks that you have a room in. You would be able to get food at the sort of the military canteen, as it were. But you could also go and patronize an inn or something like that.
I think I'll go back to barracks today. See if there's anyone worth catching up with.
Sure. Interesting. You do that. Can you make me a perception check while you're sitting down to have your lunch? Picks up your victuals.
I'll be a 17 on the perception check.
17. Wow, you're +6. Good. That's good.
I'm very perceptive.
She is very perceptive, you guys. Yeah, you notice there's most of these guys because you worked with them. So the Wildwood Brigade has taken some significant casualties in the last couple of weeks. Particularly the final battle against the Scorched Grove was a very very costly in terms of lives. So those that survived they're like not necessarily the cream of the crop, but they are the combination of the lucky ones and the really skilled ones, the ones to watch. But and you know most of them. You led the charge yourself that protected. You were the shaft of the spear when the defenders were the point that got them out to the Scorched Grove in the first place. I just had a fly into my mouth.
Delightful.
Gross. Protein. Yum.
But my horrible brain was just like, shaft.
I knew, and as soon as I said it, I was like, man, it's gonna be. Never mind. Yeah, because Mitch is in chat as well. Yeah, pointy boy. Yes, you do notice somebody that you didn't expect to see here. You see Shyla Den. Shyla is a fellow major in the Wildwood Brigade, and you are surprised to see her because the Wildwood Brigade has two major headquarters, Alderheart being one of them, but the primary base of operations is the Crest March Mountains and the fortress there, the Crest. Shyla you're the major in Alderheart, she's the major in the Crest. So what the heck's she doing in Alderheart?
I imagine Kesh will take her tray of food and go over to Shyla Den and will be pretty much hey, what the hell are you doing here? In the nicest way possible.
Oh, good to see you too, Major. Yeah, I was called out here. Benna received a message saying that I was needed in Alderheart because you had a special mission.
Oh, nice of them to tell me about it.
Oh, I'm sure they'll get to it. And you both, you share the look of, that's the council. And this has been your experience of working with them. So the Wildwood Brigade is a very new organization, born out of the Bandit Coalition. Shyla and Kesh, and indeed Benna Saradin, were all bandits only a month and a half ago. And it was the defenders of Alderheart that convinced Benna to leave the Crest March Mountain and come to Alderheart to engage in peace talks with the Alderheart Council that resulted in the creation of the Wildwood Brigade. A good 70-80% of all the bandits joined up, and the rest disbanded themselves. Some of the, I would have said maybe 5 to 10% became just bandits again. But most were in it for the right reasons or saw a chance of legitimacy and went for it. Kesh would definitely be one of them. She assisted with Benna's escape from the mountain because Shyla's boss, Kral, directly opposed it. Shyla, however, was left in joint command with Kesh while Benna came to Alderheart, and the two of them has since retained a good working relationship, but they are the bosses of different places. So yeah, Benna is now running things at the Crest, and Shyla is here to take over from you, Kesh. And Shyla says, yeah, that's the council. I'm sure they'll get around to telling you what they want you to do eventually.
Oh, because I'll have nothing better to do than, just drop everything and do whatever they have in mind.
Well, if there's anything you need to let me know, how is everything here?
About as well as can be expected, I suppose. Given all the, fire and death.
I heard the casualties were pretty bad.
Yeah. Lost a lot of good folks.
Yeah.
And Lazarus. Don't know if you heard that one.
I did hear that one. I can't say I'm sad.
He died well. Pity about parts of his living.
Yeah. Yeah. But, way I heard it, he gave his life so someone else didn't have to.
Yes, and I have the utmost respect for that decision.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to judge someone for that. And I liked the others, so the fact that one of them didn't have to die for him, that's good.
That is good. That is good. I would have been quite mad if I'd found out he'd let one of the others take the fall for him, so...
I think a lot of people would. A cynical part of me goes, yeah, but from what I heard, this is you, me, and the gatepost. He was in deep shit.
Oh, right.
Turns out he sold everything. The man was broke.
Oh dear.
And had put all his money into his research about how to defeat the Scorched Grove. And that research had been so seriously dodgy.
Wow.
And he was they could have arrested him and put him in prison, but instead they put him to work. So he didn't have this is the Older Heart Council. They probably would have just let the guy go with a slap on the wrist and a thank you very much for saving us all. But the cynical part of my brain goes, yeah, he probably didn't want to have to live with the knowledge that everybody knew that he was also he'd done some pretty shady shit. Even he couldn't sort of brush that away. So I don't know. I never even met the man.
What's that saying from that play? You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I can't remember the name of the play, but it was something about that.
Yeah, something about that. I like that.
You kind of die before you're too corrupted to ever, be respected again.
Hey, look. I mean, we called it wrong, and they gave us a second chance, and I'm glad of it, because it meant I got to be a good person. Anyway, a
good person in a more straightforward, uncomplicated
way. Less morally compromising way. Speaking of, do you get many Purge Guard in the cafeteria? And she sort of gestures with her chin. Charlotte Den is a Vulpin, by the way, a Vulpin being a fox person. She's quite a wily, she's quite attractive as well. She is a cleric by trade, but was Kral's second in command. And she gestures with her chin at a really big strig, an owl, in heavy armor, with the insignia of the Perch Guard on his shoulder, who's sort of scanning the crowd, but your back is to him, Kesh.
It's not Riffin, is it?
It's not Riffin. Riffin is not a member of the Perch Guard.
I didn't think so, but I was like, I know of an owl, technically. I didn't know an owl. I will turn around to look at this strig to see if I recognize him.
You don't. He doesn't look to have a rank. He is just a member of the Purge Guard sent looking for someone. And as you look at him, his eyes rest on you, and it becomes pretty clear that you're the one he came here to look for. And he marches over very smartly. He shows all respect. He bows to you the exactly appropriate amount, and says, Major Glitterweave, Colonel Memphis's respects, ma'am. I have a request for your attendance by the council.
I thought that might be it. Alrighty. Well, nice to see you, Shyla. I'll let you know if there's anything I have to follow up on.
Not a problem. Yeah, I'm sure one of your lieutenants can show me anything I need to know if you do need to rush off in the fast. See you soon, Kesh. And the corporal leads you away. And leads you up to the council chambers. Meanwhile, the rest of our group have also attended the council, but Kesh is the one who was brought into the meeting first. Kesh, you are brought up to the council chambers and brought into a side room in the main building, where the corporal gestures you in but does not follow you. And inside you find one of the council members, Larimar, the raptor, where raptors being birds of prey, various the birds of prey. Larimar is a red hawk. She is well known to be young and vigorous, and has been quite vocal about what needs to be done to get Alderheart back on its track, and seems to be taking a lead in making it happen. is the word on the street. When you arrive, she is deep in consultation with Memphis, the head of the Perch Guard, a colonel. He's a gallus with the visage of a pheasant, who you have obviously had dealings with many times. He's always been polite but never friendly. Your roles in Alder Heart are basically the same. He is the colonel in charge of the Perch Guard, while you are the commander of the Wildwood Brigade. So technically you are ranked junior to him, but you're in different lines of service, so it doesn't sort of matter. And while you're the head of your organization, so you're technically on equal footing. You've met loads of times to deal with matters of jurisdictional conflict, and you know him to be a firm but reasonable man. Basically, his viewpoint is the Perch Guard's primary responsibilities are within Alderheart, and the Wildwood Brigade is responsibility for everything outside of the city. However, this distinction has been blurred by two major factors. Firstly, the youth of your organization. The brigade is less than 2 months old, and it was created in haste, so its duties are pretty poorly defined. And secondly, the last couple of weeks has featured what is essentially a full-scale war with elemental beings, and a good portion of all the Heart citizenry were pressed into either volunteer militias or firefighting teams, so that broadened the scope of his attention for a time. But as you enter...
fire and death, really.
Yeah, all that fire and death. So as you enter, he nods curtly to you, Major. And Larimar...
His rank already.
Colonel. And Larimar says, "Thank you, Colonel, for... would you mind?" And she gestures to a second door, which he leaves through. Larimar watches him leave, and then smiles at you. "Well, Major, firstly, I just wanted to thank you for your exemplary service recently. All the wood is grateful to you and your brigadiers. But, as they say, no good deed goes unpunished. Your heroics have drawn attention, and now I'm afraid we have to put you to work. The council has a task for you." And she pauses to see your reaction.
I am unsurprised, as I literally just found out. Like, yes, I thought that might be it. Care to enlighten me?
Well, as you may or may not be aware, whilst the defenders did manage to seal the gateway to the plane of fire and subdue the aspect, not all the rampaging elementals were caught up in the final battle. Many escaped into the deeper wood. Now, most of them are too small to maintain themselves for long without the connection to their home plane, and that the aspect provided. But there are a few that retain that strength, and if left for a time, they will grow in strength and gather others to them. Now, Dean Winsworth of the Avium, he informs us that, left unchecked, these creatures could grow strong enough to potentially reawaken the aspect and restore the link to their infernal home plane. However, Alderheart's mightiest heroes are not available.
Oh, so you got me.
So we got you instead.
Runner-up.
Well, it's their prerogative, I suppose, but it does leave us in a bit of a bind. So the task must fall to another, and you, a capable commander, an experienced war leader, are being tapped, as it were. Now, of course, I don't want to force anybody into anything, but you would be the most qualified person that we have access to.
Well, I guess I'm it then. I assume I'm not going alone?
No, of course not. We're assembling a team, and we hope you'll lead it. So, I suppose we should... would you like to meet them?
Oh, sure. Let's go. Who am I going out to fight fire creatures with?
Colonel, would you mind?
Question.
The first, I believe you already know. He's one of yours. And as she says this, Arthur comes in. Through the door, the Colonel exits. Yeah, still the bowl of peanuts with you.
It's like eating them in that vicious frenzy, how geese tend to do.
Mr. Breakbill here.
Arthur.
Arthur was in the charge with you. He was he was one of the ones who attacked the was in that shaft we were talking about earlier. Yeah. He's so he's a member of the brigade. So but you've probably never. I wouldn't know. Maybe you've probably spoken a couple of times, but not held any deep amount of conversation. But yeah, you've probably met. Arthur is followed into the room by Eric. Mr. Shadow Boltier is Shadow Malt, rather. I apologize. Is a member of the Tenders. I thought it'd be a useful person to have along if a fire was being fought. And you see a Corvum with a. You would probably notice the red feather on his cheek because it's not traditional Corvum coloring. And behind him is this hulking servant man. This gentleman here is Javier Berlaninov. I asked the Dean Winsworth if he could recommend a recent graduate who might be useful in this endeavor, and he put forward Mr. Berlaninov's name enthusiastically. Gentlemen, this is Major Glitterweave. She's a ranking member of the Wildwood Brigade. Major, while you do have rank, and I would never take that away from you, only Mr. Breakbillier is actually a subordinate of yours. So within this group, it might be best to clarify that you are team leader but have no specific jurisdiction over your fellows. In this venture, you're being directly seconded to the council service. You're not Wildwood Brigadiers here. Yeah, I hope that is not a problem for you.
As long as it's not a problem for them.
Do we still get a rank? I want to be lieutenant.
You can determine ranks within your own group if you fancy. I won't be stopping you.
I'm not one for ranks.
Hello, everyone. Could you please speak up a bit?
As in literally speak up? You're very tall.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, what are our skills, chaps? Obviously, Breakbill, I know a little of your particular set of skills.
His eyes are freaking me out. Why are you staring at me like that? Do you want to paint?
You want to go, mate? You want to go?
Eric is definitely keeping his eyes down.
Yeah. Do you want to fight? Is this an initiation of a fight?
Are you not afraid of me?
No, I ain't afraid.
Are you sure about that?
Of course.
I like you. We can be friends.
Yeah, we can be friends. Yeah. I like him. Yeah.
We can be friends.
Yeah,
Larimar has been sitting there, like, looking between the two of you, like, clearly concerned that something's about to go down in her office. And it's like looking occasionally to the colonel who's standing by the door, and then she shakes her head very, very slightly, and the colonel leaves. Like, think we good. Think we good, fam. All right.
Yes. This is not how friendship works.
She says, so Mr. Berlaninov here is a cleric, I believe, of Kerith, I suspect, and specializes in healing. I think it was that the.
Yes, healing. I can heal.
Yes.
That's wonderful. It's a very useful skill. Breakbill here is good at punching people.
very good.
Very respectable.
And what are you good at, Mr. Shadow Malt?
I have some experience with tending the flames, as it were, and he snaps his talons, and a small spark appears on the end of one of them, and then the spark goes to the rest of his talon, and his whole talon is on fire, and he looks at it and kind of shakes it.
And it goes out.
It goes out. But in the process of doing that, you would see his sleeve of his robe would come out, and you would see some scorch marks on his arm.
Cool.
Are you okay?
Do you need some healing after that?
No.
Yes, do you need some healing after that?
Are you not afraid your feathers are gonna catch fire?
I have been there and done that, so to speak. If you would like to heal me, you are more than welcome to, I suppose. But leave the scorch marks.
Okay.
And
I can't do much for scars anyway, sorry.
Me neither, but I can offer a peanut.
Well,
I will take a peanut.
I also
It's
take
for
a peanut.
sharing, It's for sharing.
peanuts are a
take
sharing
peanut.
food.
I
And
roast a peanut in my talons, and then
ooh, roasted peanuts. And Miss Captain Major Glitterweave, what particular skills do you actually possess? I know of your leadership skills, but what is your particular skill set?
Well, you know, tracking, hunting, that sort of things. Very good. I'm quite good at finding my way through the old forest, so I should be able to stop everyone from getting lost. And can certainly follow a trail once I've kind of found the start of it. So I imagine that's where my strengths will be. I'll lead these lovely chaps to the thing, and then hopefully our collective skills can contain it. And then, am I saying it right? Javier?
Javier.
Javier.
Back of the throat.
Javier.
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 Yes.
Javier.
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 I'm sorry, did I hear it correctly? We are lovely chaps. Lovely. What did you say?
I said lovely chaps, yes. You
Is
seem
that
like
the name of our group? Are we lovely chaps?
we could possibly choose something a little more intimidating, but it's a good start.
Give that.
Who needs a name to be intimidating?
Who are we intimidating?
Well, fire and death, hopefully.
Yes.
Well, fire and death don't
I-
respond very well to words, in my experience.
I have the answer there, though. So, there are several large elementals there that need slaying, basically. So you are a hit squad, as it were. There is a bounty as well. I don't know if that attracts any of you, but the council had contended a sum of 400 gold pieces for each major elemental slain. To be split evenly between you, the four of you, of course. So 100 gold pieces a person for each major elemental slain. We would, of course, require, whilst I personally am rather, I abhor the taking of trophies, I suggest taking a specific piece of each for proof.
That was going to be my next question. Not sure what bit of a fire elemental you're supposed to...
DM, what do I, when I hear major elemental,
Yeah.
what image does that conjure for me?
Probably the size of a troll, but made mostly of fire.
Is there a variety? Like, is major elemental like a genus, or is that a specific?
No one looks the same, but they all mechanically they will all have the same stat block.
That wasn't what I was trying to get at, but thank you.
Yeah, they all
And
tend to
like
be.
the HP totals and the AC plays.
So, this major elemental, do we have to kill the general elementals as well, or the soldier elementals, or just the major elementals?
Yeah, is
Oh,
it gonna be
well,
like
The
a fire?
lieutenant
think
elementals, the captain elementals.
No, you'll find that the fire elementals are more of chaos than law and order. There's no such rank other than this big fireball can consume this little ember to be a bigger fireball. Ah.
Well, he said major. You know, you're not a major yourself, so I was thinking we killed the major. You know, do we kill the leader?
Take out the leadership.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He's onto it. He's onto it.
Javier here is not hugely off the mark. However, Mr. Shadowmalt is correct. There is no leadership. It was really just a different usage of the word major. This one being just large rather than of any
Well, you should
particular
have
rank.
said large.
I
You should have
apologize.
said large.
The general of the elementals has already been slain by the defenders of Alderheart. So, in effect, these major elementals are in fact majors. If they were to have a rank, that would probably be an appropriate one.
Can we not just kill the elemental god?
I think the defenders of Alderheart are actually on that one. So you just need to defeat its lesser minions for now.
Do we
But
like the
theoretically,
mop-up crew?
so theoretically, if they, slay the god of fire and death, all the little fire and deathers might just kind of poof. That would be cool.
As I've had it understood to me, they stem from the elemental plane of fire, which is not something you can really kill. It's a place.
Right. So it's contained.
Exactly. Actually, the containment's already been done. What you need to do is mop up, as Arthur here said.
Right.
We've closed the door, and now they can't get back. Of course, closing the door was the optimum idea at the time, but there is still a few here hiding out in our wood, and they're setting fires. And really, we can't be having that.
Of course. Well,
All right, well, I'm ready.
when do we begin?
She actually she says, "Hey, Colonel, would you join us again, please?" And Memphis comes back in. He carries a map with him, and he says, "Right. If you don't mind, council member, I'll take it from here." And he lays out a map of basically the Humblewood north of Alderheart. And there are 3 major points on it that he points out. He says, "Here you have 3 major signs of elemental activity that we will be asking you to track down. This is at least the first batch. This is what we've managed to track down in the last week. First of all, we have here, this is of course the major concern. I apologize, I'm probably using the word major too often.
Major concern.
Principal concern.
A thesaurus might be useful.
This is of course the principal concern. I would request that you would head to this one first. This site has, this is the conjuration circle that the defenders reinvigorated about a week ago. Unfortunately, a large elemental has been spotted in the vicinity, and we have yet to fully reinforce the conjuration circle. So this is in fact really concerning, because if it were to be destroyed or disrupted in any way, it could reopen the door. I think you can probably follow why that would be bad. So this would be the first port of call, as it were. Once you've dealt with that, directly north of the city, probably about a day and a half's walk from the city, he says, there are some hot springs here. We believe they are linked to a minor elemental, I don't want to say portal, but possibly as a node of elemental power, which appears to have drawn the attention of another elemental creature and a coterie of smaller beings, all of which seem to be self-perpetuating. So that would be another good place to have a look. And a third, and he gestures actually not too far away from the Wildwood Brigade's headquarters in the Crest, the village of Crest March appears to be now completely overrun. I leave it to you on how you deal with these problems, but my personal request would be that you seek out the conjuration circle first. It is the most concerning to everybody here.
From looking at the map, can I tell roughly how long it would take for us to get there?
It's about as you have led a forced march to it less than a week ago, you know it is a 4-hour walk to get to the Conjuration Circle from Alderheart.
Right. So, are you wanting us to leave today, or is this kind of a setting off in the morning sort of a deal?
It's probably 3 in the afternoon now, and he says, "Sooner would be better, I think, Major. I'm reluctant, knowing that there is a major elemental in the area, to leave that place any more unsupported than it already is. The Purge Guard are fully deployed within the city. The Wildwood Brigade are, I know, stretched thin outside of it, and you have enforced... And Kesh, this place has been fortified under your orders. However, you are stretched thin, and it's... You know that the garrison you left there... You left a squad. And a decent-sized elemental with any sort of backup at all, a squad of average Wildwood Brigadiers, probably not gonna cut it.
Right.
So it's your folks who are dying.
Well, the good thing is, and this is to kind of my new crew, is that it's quite easy to fight a fire elemental in the dark because it kind of sheds its own light. So if we head off in an hour, the sun will be down by the time we get there, and it should be pretty easy to spot if anything's on fire.
That's
if we're looking for positives.
All right.
What's their reaction to that? Are they like, "Oh, I don't want to leave today," or are they like,
That's smart. That's really smart.
It's very intelligent.
And we can see the fire, but because it's dark, the fire can't see us.
Not how that works.
Tactical
let's-
advantage.
Let's go as soon as we can.
right? Well, I'll need to change and grab a few things.
I'm ready to go now.
Excellent. Well, how about we meet at the main gate in the next 30 minutes?
Right.
I'll
Next half bell?
speak with Havel and I'll meet you there.
Right.
Very well.
And yes, Javier, Arthur, if there's anything you need to gather, I know you said you already Javier, but if there's anything you'd like to do before you leave, do it now, and we'll be on our way with as much haste as we can muster.
I'll stock up on all of the extra burning, creaming, the balms that I have, the ointments,
Sure.
Helpful.
Yeah, the Colonel actually says, if you need any... Arthur, you have access to the stores of the Wildwood Brigade, as do you, Major. Mr. Shadowmalt, you can get what you need from the tenders, but Mr. Berlaninov, if you require anything, the Purge Guard will happily provide any reasonable recommendations.
Thank you.
Great.
So we could take anything from
within reason.
Yeah, that was going to be what I was saying.
What's reasonable? Is it like whatever you can carry kind of deal? Like one of those when you go pick pumpkins?
If it is, I will carry it all.
Yeah.
I might warn you that it might be tempting to go in heavily armored, but these are fire elementals, and you don't want to be a roast duck, so to speak.
Yeah, make sure you can still move. Like I know you like to stock up, Arthur, but you also need to be able to,
I
dodge.
reckon a bear trap would work against a major fire elemental.
No.
I will bow to the judgment of those who might know the answer. Eric, any thoughts? Bear trap?
It would depend how tethered the elemental is to our plane, whether or not it would have legs.
Right. So if it has legs, bear trap might work.
legs that are
Otherwise-
small enough to fit in a bear trap? Yes.
How likely is that?
Right, I'm gonna get as many buckets of water as I can, and I'll
Sure.
meet you at the front gate.
Every little bit helps, I suppose.
Yes,
I adore-
Stay damp.
I adore
love
Nikolai's continued preoccupation with playing stupid ass characters.
Checks out.
Cool.
Kesh is kind of wondering if, like, would like cold weapons be a thing?
Cold magic and magically imbued weapons definitely a thing. Whether or not you have access to any.
You know, if I could, Kesh might ask this quietly, so she's not just announcing to the whole room.
Sure.
You don't have any like cold magic weapons? Maybe a short sword I could borrow. Give me a little bit of an extra edge.
Larimar, who do you ask that to? Do you ask the
Well, who would it make most sense to ask?
Well, look, Larimar is one of the 5 leaders of the whole country. She's sort of a deputy prime minister. In fact, Larimar would probably, to use a modern sort of way of expressing things, Larimar would be the secretary for the military.
Okay.
And so, yeah, she has pretty much ultimate authority within the wood as far as the military organizations go, without going upwards to Beta, who is the council speaker. And functionally prime minister, if you were looking for an Australian sort of simile. But that being said, you've also got the commander of the other arm of the Birdfolk military right there with you. So either one would be a valid person to ask. You know that the Colonel Memphis is probably he's never been like forthcoming unless you've specifically asked for something, I suppose is the trick.
No worries. Oh, well, I'll ask Memphis then, just quietly. Just like, we don't have any special fire weapons, like anti-fire weapons, like cold weapons.
And he goes,
Just because if we're going out there specifically to kill fire elementals and we have something that might be more effective.
I understand. However, what little Alderheart actually possessed was given to the defenders.
Yeah, I thought that might have been the case. Oh well, worth checking.
I
You
have
could
an
always-
ultimate strategy. We shave all our skin, get the hair rid of it. Feathers, get rid of it. Anything that can burn me, get rid of it. Ultimate defense.
Oh, the trouble is, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea. If you wish to shave yourself completely, I'm not going to stop you. It's just
I will
that-
shave you.
Oh, no, it's just that if you shave all your fur off, then you've got no barrier, and it's just going to burn your skin straight away. Whereas if it burns your fur, at least it's not burning your skin. You follow?
I follow. That's a good point.
And
For clarity,
then
no,
we can
you
keep
carry-
warm at night as well.
yeah, for clarity, Captain Kazi, Kesh is a Mapatch, a raccoon person. I apologize, we didn't actually nail that
Didn't
down
actually say
because
that, no.
no, because everybody like Kesh was a major NPC in. It's still major. I'm using that word a lot. A major NPC in the other Humblewood game that we have already run, and a good friend of one of the members of the Defenders of Alderheart, and a fellow Mapatch of Trish Caper. So yeah, Kesh.
Well, people want a little flavour. She's a black and grey Mapatch, and she has a couple of gold rings in her ears. And
She
a little
wears
snaggletooth.
and a snaggletooth, yes, and she wears normally seen in leather armor. She is a ranger by class. Cool. Right. Anybody else, or shall we move the story along?
Please, let us go forth into these wild woods.
In which case, Eric, you make your way back to the halls of the Tenders to have a conversation with Havel And probably say, what the hell did you sign me up to, asshole?
What the hell did you sign me up for,
Havel.
sir?
And he goes,
very, very tactful.
he says, what? Is it not your jam? If it's not, that's fine. I can speak to the council for you.
No, it is appropriate, I suppose. I do see why you put me forward for this. You know that I don't get on too well with others, but I think the Conjuration Circle does need to be protected at the very least.
It is the duty of our order. But, Eric, I want to be clear. If you're not up for this, I can find someone else. I'll go myself.
No, I will go, but I don't have a weapon. I don't have armor. I wasn't expecting this.
What do you need, my friend? I'm sure the tenders can provide.
Scimitar, my family trained me in that. Some basic leather. I think I will have the rest in my pack.
Yeah, he actually goes behind his. He goes into one of his cupboards. You're in his office. So the tender halls are actually in the inside the trunk of the tree itself. Most of the buildings in the trunk particularly are actually just carved out of the outer bark of this incredibly huge tree. And the tender halls are an ancient building, quite low in the trunk as well. And yes, his office is it's all wood. And he goes into one of the cupboards and actually gets out his own armor. He says, don't have often enough an instance to use it right about now. So yeah, you're certainly welcome to it. You get better use out of it than I, and frankly, it probably fits you better. I've put on a few pounds since I started this job. Most of it's sitting in a chair. A scimitar, I'm sure we can hook you up. And he looks around and he says, no, I don't have one in here. But yeah, he leads you down the stairs, and there is it's basically a larger cupboard underneath one of the staircases that's got a decent armory in it. It's just there's racks of weapons, all nicely oiled, all well maintained, but they don't get a lot of usage. The tenders are not primarily they're not at all a military organization, but they do still are required occasionally to defend themselves. So yeah, it's a well-made scimitar, well kept.
I think Eric sees an iridescent beetle shell shield as well.
Sure.
He will catch his eye, and he will take that as well.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Here you go.
Sir, one other question I have, and he lowers his voice a bit. These elementals that everyone is so keen on us stamping out, should I be concerned? And he will kind of touch his feather.
He
the
says,
orange red feather on his cheek.
Eric, we've talked about this. That one isn't bound to the plane of fire anymore. We were very careful about that. It's yours. You control it, not the other way around. If you're ever worried about that, if you think your control is slipping, then come back and talk to me. We'll look. But right now, I have complete faith in you.
Well, I thank you for that, Havel. I guess it's time to fight fire with fire.
That's the spirit.
Thank you.
Cool. Arthur and Kesh, do you avail yourselves of any particular things?
I probably burst around the corner to Kesh. I found a yoke, so it means I can carry more buckets of water.
Okay, just don't weigh yourself down too much, Arthur. We may be beyond buckets of water by the time we get there.
You're right. I heard sand is better.
And there'll be sand there.
Interesting. Yeah. All right.
Look, I'm not
Okay.
saying don't take any water. You should definitely take some water. I'm just saying don't
Well, it's spilt on the ground now.
Well, then don't worry about it, Arthur. I'm sure we'll be fine.
All right. Yeah. You're right. You're the major. Yeah, but you're right. We're possibly going to die on this.
Well, hopefully not. I wouldn't want to go into it with that attitude.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering if it's going to be a repeat of the shaft situation, you know?
Oh, hopefully not. Like we're dealing with, you know, the underlings of the element of fire. So, you know, they should be smaller and less terrifying. So I think we stand a much better chance of getting out of this without getting our feathers and or fur singed, so to speak.
Yeah. Reassuring words, Major. Thank you. I'm going to fill up one of these buckets of water as a backup, and I'll meet you by the gate.
All right, I'll see you soon.
Sure.
And, you know, Kesh avails herself of provisions, gets her bow, her daggers, her short swords, puts on her leather armor, and braces herself for what is to come.
Cool. Javier, what do you do? Do you assist at all?
I go to a quiet spot with a reflective surface, and I think long and hard just for a little bit, and then I begin to shave. And I start shaving, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this too much. I better even out the other side as well. Oh no, that's a bit too. Oh no, and it's now just like
getting
a
bigger.
handlebar, like because you've got elk, like the elk. It's like an elk mane, but it's like now it's just this handlebar that kind of goes down. He's like, I think that's enough. I've done too much. Let's go back. No one will know. No one's gonna notice.
No one's going to notice that you suddenly have a handlebar mustache.
No one. Why would anyone notice?
Exactly.
So
why would we notice?
No one's going to comment. I'll give you that. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you, Javier. Do you do anything else? Do you look around for anything else? Do you seek to acquire any gear or anything?
So I find someone. I don't know this place. Hey, you over there. Are you part of this? You helping?
You catch a lieutenant in the perch guard, and they say, yeah. What do you need? We've been told to hook you up with whatever you want. I'll take you to the quartermaster. What do you need?
I need some good incense. It's like smelly stuff. Like
yeah, and sure. Don't know if we can actually help you with that. You might want to try the temple. And he indicates across. So you're the headquarters of the Perch Guard are there's the council square is actually a triangle, which is stupid and confusing. But yeah, the council square, the council building is on like one. It's very much in the top of the branches, a large building, one of the few actual buildings in Alderheart. Most of the rest of it obviously hollowed out of the tree, but this one is a stone structure in the top branches of an enormous tree. And then there are two other structures that form the other sides of the triangle. One is the Temple of the Amaranthines, the High Temple of Alderheart, and the third is the headquarters of the Perch Guard and a couple of other lesser organizations. Yeah, he would indicate across the council square towards the temple to you and say, here, and he writes out a quick note, signs it, and then hands it to you, and he said, this is a requisition chit. If you present that to them, they'll hook you up with whatever you need.
Sick. Okay, so I also need He works a lot with fire, so he knows like fireproof blankets or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need something thick to resist fire or like throw on fire if bad, like big enough I can carry like a shawl or something.
He's been leading you to the quartermasters during this time, and he says, the quartermasters are gonna hook you up like a thick winter blanket sized for a servant.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And a
But,
large,
like, extra large, like triple XL if you can.
you get a big bundle of woolen blanket.
Beautiful. Reminds me of my grandmother. Keep going.
Weaponry, do you need any weapons at all, or are you set? He looks at your antlers. It's like,
excuse me, my eyes are down here.
apologies. I was impressed.
Yes, as you should be. Okay, so weapon. Actually, do you have anything nice and pretty? I need to put something up there. If people are going to look up there, do you think it needs more, or is it okay? Is it?
I don't
okay?
think it needs anything more, unless
It
you
took me
wanted
a
to get
long time to
it
grow.
gilt. Like, you could have like thin gold foil like pressed onto it. That would be impressive.
Could you do this?
I don't have that skill. No. You need a blacksmith.
A blacksmith.
Or a jeweler.
Okay. You got a jeweler?
No. That's not military. It wouldn't serve any military function. It just looked good. I think it probably looked good. In fact, Javier, there is something of a I don't know if you're originally from the woods, so whether or not you would be aware of this tradition, but among some Pronghorn Servant, the tradition of either scrimshoring or carving your antlers, or in other ways decorating them, is similar to tattoos, basically.
Yes, I find it taxing and very look that kind of thing. Like it grows so quick, and it's just very like I put something on it and it falls off, and I ram my horns into someone and it falls off into them, and it's very awkward.
Then don't do the gold leaf. Then that won't stay on either. No,
Okay, but
it doesn't
think
stand up
about
to
it.
heavy use. It'd be
Maybe a
nice though,
special-
like maybe
special
for a
occasion.
wedding or something. Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
a wedding. Are you getting married?
I'm not yet. No, the missus
Know
hasn't.
anyone who's having a marriage?
No, actually.
This is irrelevant. I need to get my insight. Can you please get me to my insights?
So yeah, he indicates you over the council square towards the chapel of the Amaranthines, in which a priest takes the chit from you, says, "How much do you need?"
Okay. Well, have you got the good shit?
We have the best shit.
Okay. So I'll take about 5 gold worth.
And he looks at the chit and goes, "Yeah, I could probably squeeze that," and it brings back 5 gold pieces worth of incense.
Nice. Thank you very much. This will go to great burning.
I hope so.
I
Best of
cleanse
luck.
my everything. Okay.
The Amaranthines be with you.
All right. Thank you, Amaranth. Whatever to you. Goodbye.
One priest to another. You're all good, buddy. Cool. Alrighty. Does anybody have anything else they want to do before you set off?
There's one
Eric.
quick thing.
Hmm.
After my conversation with Havel, I would like to find a quiet corner and pluck some feathers and place them in a bowl and cast augury as a ritual.
Sure.
I would like to. Divination spells are very cool and don't get used nearly enough.
Nope.
The
Trust me, they
task
do
that-
in my Humblewood.
Well, welcome to this as well, having
Yeah.
that. The task I want to get results for is marching to the conjuration circle.
Sure.
How will that end for us?
Interesting. And I will have a quick think about that. that and get you an answer when we come back from our break, which we're going to go on now. So stick around for the culmination of this little bit of an adventure. Quite an intriguing new group. Quite a very personal bubble bunch of people. Lovely seeing you all in chat, guys. Welcomed in chat. Nelda, very good to see you. Captain Kazi, a new person. Love it. Please, if you aren't already a subscriber, please chuck us a subscribe. It's not a subscribe, a follow. I mean, look, heck, if you want to subscribe, go for that. I don't know if you can yet, but yeah, loving having you guys in chat. It's always lovely to see these lovely people. We shall be back in 5 to 10. If you got them, guys, we'll be back shortly. Take care of yourselves and see you soon. Bye-bye. Mesdames et Messieurs, Damen und Herren, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, welcome back to Corsair's Cove! I be Josh the Pirate, and I'm taking these just delightful group of ragamuffins and miscreants through a brand new, this is session 1, day 1, year 1, chapter 1, whatever you want to call it, of a brand new campaign set in my version of the Humblewood world by the Deck of Many. If you really want to check that out, and you should, because it's awesome. They've just written the second book. They kickstarted for it a while back, and it's really, really sexy stuff, particularly if you like furries. None of us, I believe, are furries, but we are enjoying ourselves. So,
thanks for making it weird.
yeah, I know. I was like, I saw Brendan laughing. I was like, yeah, we were talking earlier about making an ass of yourself on stream. That was my moment today. Furries are cool and we love them. Furries are welcome. Hi, everybody. Nelda Berry, Galant, D-Rab, it's lovely to have you in chat. So, we were setting off on a mission to kill a big fire elemental. Yeah, you had just gotten all your stuff ready to go, and you headed out of the city towards that. So, I think this calls for a bit of a music change.
Ooh.
Mm.
Sexy jazz. Sorry.
No,
Yes.
we already had sexy jazz. I'll give you sexy jazz at the end. But I need to find my Scorched Grove. There it is.
Gosh, I can't DM without. Sorry, I can't roleplay without sexy jazz.
Okay, well, look, you'll get sexy jazz at the end.
It's like a reward.
Yeah.
It's like if you do a good job, you get
Have
some
laughing
sexy
at us.
jazz.
The journey to the Conjuration Circle is a matter of 4 hours at a fast pace, which I presume you set. So, Kesh and Arthur. You are within about 15 minutes of the place at this point. Like, you've headed out, and having been here less than a week ago, yeah, you're fully aware that you're getting pretty close to where you're aiming for. It might well spark some memories for each of you. Eric, a good portion of your training was done in Alderheart, but most of your field experience has been near here, and you had your own, obviously, fairly climactic incident here about a week ago. The day after said battle. A few friends have commented on the red feather on your cheek, but none have actually. I don't believe you've taken anyone other than Havel into your confidence about it. So anybody who cares to
Kesh
can make.
has noticed, but she's not nosy, so
No, it's nice. Yeah.
she's trying not to be nosy.
Anybody who cares to.
Javier rejoined. I want to say Arthur is immediate. Nice mustache. Yeah.
What mustache?
I mean, it's very impressive.
It's for protection.
You didn't go the full shave then, just a little partial shave.
No, I had second thoughts.
Well, it's a look, you know?
Yes, I know I'm hot as shit.
This is
Eric
true.
is going to take a whiff and sidle up to Javier and say, you have incense. You've got the good shit.
Always. Stay with me, you will always have good shit.
Of course.
Does Javier dabble in any substances?
Is incense a substance?
Does it alter your sense of perception?
I would argue yes.
It can cleanse your soul, ward away spirits, It can make your home smell like a nice place to be.
Great.
All right. And now I did promise a result on the augury as well, Eric. Yes, your feelings about it are generally wheel.
Positive.
You generally get a fairly positive feeling about the undertaking you are setting out on today. It certainly ought to have a generally positive outcome. It's hard to say if it will be completely positive for you, but broadly, as in the net outcome will be a gain for people who are aligned in the same way you are.
Okay. I don't quite have a jaunty step, but I'm a little less gloomy than I had been.
Yeah. The trick of and it's why it is really hard to work with divination magic in your games is the answer very much depends on whether or not the party doesn't fuck it up. So there's the option in the augury spell. There is the option. It's like it's either wheel, woe, or a bit of both. And most DMs would normally probably give a bit of both. It depends whether you fuck it up.
I think the only time V used augury specifically, she got wheel and woe and was just like, well, thanks for nothing.
Yeah, I'm glad I wasted a spell slot on that. Yeah.
I feel like the most important time to use it is when there's a crazy idea brewing and you're like, is this a fucking bad idea?
Is this an awful idea or a really good
idiotic?
idea?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Awfully good.
So yeah, you got a generally positive impression about it. Alrighty. Make perception checks. Anyone who cares to.
Oh, I very much care to make a perception
Definitely
check.
will.
Yeah.
Oh, non-natural 20, dirty 20.
Nice
to
catch.
Yeah.
if our enemy
Filthy
approaches.
20. Arthur also gets a filthy 20. Filthy 20. 3 20s. Javier also gets a dirty 20.
Shit.
Go on, Eric. Let the side down.
Let's see.
See what you don't see.
On that 20, you gotta up us.
Yeah. Do it. It's got a +6. Oh, right. Yes, this is the... we could take a while.
It's the thing.
Look, 20 is good. Who's got the highest plus?
I'm +6.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Javier, I think, is a +1. How'd you do, Eric?
I'm
I got a
+4.
natural 1.
Oh, wow. There's the other. All right.
Yes.
Amazing.
He's
Amazing.
just thinking about incense now. He's not focused on the task at hand.
Okay, so
My eyes are dilating a bit.
yeah, I think probably you are overcome with like a little too much confidence, given the results of your augury. You're like, no, we got this, kids. We got this. This is fine. Not going to be a problem at all. So here and there you see discarded and broken weapons, basically not worth recovering. The area you're passing through is basically a battleground less than a week ago. The forest is resilient, however, and particularly this is the Scorched Grove. There's a hell of a lot of ash. Ash is amazing fertilizer. So it's already starting to see new sprouts of grass coming back through that already. You see the discarded weaponry. The bodies have all been removed and the fires extinguished. Even the bodies of the elementals, such that left any sort of visible remains. Now I've got a DC 20. Spots this thing, and I've said the highest if there's more than one, which doesn't help me at all. So I'm going to give it to Kesh because Kesh has the highest natural perception. Kesh, you spot a silver chain, damaged as its owner was probably slain, lying in the ash. It's broken, but probably worth saving, and it's worth probably 20 gold pieces.
Oh, I'll pick it up. Does it have like any charms on it or anything?
It doesn't appear to have any identifying marks. There is a very simple pendant. It is a pendant of one of the amaranthines. It's got the holy symbol of actually your well, not your deity, but the deity of the Mapach deity, Hath. And Hath's symbol is literally a figure 8, which is also the rough shape of the markings around of Mapach's eyes. So it's a figure 8 on its side, like an Ouroboros, an infinity symbol. And yeah, it's not necessarily a Mapatch word, because you don't have to be a Mapatch to worship Half, but yeah, the odds are that this was a Mapatch's holy symbol.
Oh, I'll tuck it in a pocket.
Yeah, alrighty. You also, the three of you guys, not Eric, I'm afraid, will also notice that whilst not much native life abounds in the grove, it rarely lacks for any ambient sound. Emberbats, minor elementals too small to be a bother, and insects are all usually in evidence, but not right now.
So if there are minor insects, and minor elementals, are there also like wood chopper elementals and gathering elementals?
Except for a cry that you can hear in the direction you are traveling.
How dark is it at this point? You must be heading into early.
Yeah, it is definitely. It's mid-evening at this point. There is. The thing about the Scorched Grove is, it's not. It's the fires are mostly out. Most of it is quite dark. So where there is light, it's fairly obvious. You do see a glow ahead of you, in the direction you are traveling. It is, however, dusk elsewhere. I looked this word up recently. Crepuscular. There is a crepuscular gloom to your surroundings. Crepuscular meaning of or related to twilight.
Ooh,
So
I like
word of the week on Corsair's Curve, crepuscular. I've already used it once.
Was this from the book?
No, it's not. Karen gave me a book by Susie Dent from Dictionary Corner and Countdown for my birthday, because Susie Dent is a wordsmith and amazing person. No, crepuscular is not in the book. It might be, but I have not read it there yet. I am as far as January 1, Janus, and the etymology of the word January, so I haven't gotten to crepuscular yet. But it's a good word, and it describes the darkness that you are heading into. However, there is some fire ahead of you.
Oh,
Well,
well,
fire, you said glowing, so fire.
Well, it's a glow, but it's a reddish sort of flaming glow.
hearing the cry, I will kind of look back at the others and kind of be like,
Should we be quiet?
yes.
You can hear sort of cries, and actually, now that you're listening for it, the sounds of battle.
Oh, let's go!
Oh, okay, time for stealth as ever. Run!
Yes, you dash towards the sounds of battle. Breaking through the last blackened trees, you find a battle in full swing. Is there anything any of you wish to do to prepare for the battle? You're probably like a 5-minute run from the battle, so you have... Yeah, sorry, go for it.
Oh, no, 5 minutes. Yeah. I totally forgot to do Goodberry before we left. Never mind.
It's an action to give somebody a berry, but it's also an action to cast a spell, so if you have to give somebody a berry, it is an action to cast it and then give them some anyway, so it costs you nothing.
Did you say 5 minutes away?
Yeah, 5-minute run. So you can, like, when you're 20 seconds out or something, you could cast a spell lasting a minute. If you were wanting
Can we see any figures at the moment? Like, can we see the...
You hear, like, the shouts, like, it's because it's quite thick forest, but you can still hear in the distance. You can particularly hear, it's more like roars of the thing you're probably looking for. That you can hear it from this distance. It's still probably the best part of a half-mile away. But, yeah, you can see the flames, and you can hear... And there shouldn't be any fires. So all of that is suspicious.
I'm going to get my longbow out as we run, and I am also going to prepare to use... Where is it gone? I had it open and now it is gone. And prepare to use my hunter's sense as soon as I see...
Oh, sure.
Whatever the creature is that we are approaching.
Very well.
Which will let me identify its immunities,
strengths and weaknesses,
resistances, and vulnerabilities.
Very well. Sure.
This is probably a stretch, but is it possible to do a running ritual of detect magic? It's okay to say no.
I would say it partially because you'd only have 5 minutes.
Right.
I let you certainly cast it, but yeah, not as a ritual.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
It would not be at all a stretch to detect that there is magic up ahead. In fact, Eric, you would be aware that the Scorched Grove is in itself, basically all of it is magic. You would get, magic. You would get a lot of conjuration magic, and because you are heading towards what is essentially a massive warding, binding conjuration circle, you would get fuck tons of conjuration. I'll give you it for free. You don't even need to cast the spell.
Great.
Beyond that, you would send some elemental magic creatures. Again, not a huge surprise. So, but there wouldn't be beyond that.
Yeah.
Cool. Arthur, do you do anything to prepare?
You know, I just sort of hit things, so no, I'm good. I'll
You're
just keep
good?
running.
Javier, do you do anything to prepare?
Yes, I guess I'm got the enemy in my sight and I'm ready to bane a motherfucker or two.
So you prepare Bane as a readied action? Very well. You rush forwards. You can make out the signs of battle. Breaking through the last of the blackened trees, you find a battle in full swing. A trio of Wildwood Brigadiers, apparently the last of a group of a dozen, defend a single tender and the conjuration circle against a group of elementals led by a hulking creature, twice the height of even Javier, and composed entirely of flame. Roll initiative, please.
The thing we didn't bring the bear trap. Or did we bring the bear trap?
It actually doesn't have legs. It's got, it ends sort of like the genie in Aladdin. It's just sort of tapers down to a sort of wisp, like a tail.
Got one bucket of water.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna need a bigger bucket.
Yeah. Gonna need a bigger bucket.
Dirty 20 for my initiative.
Filthy 20 for Kesh. Very nice.
Dirty 20s today. We're gonna use them up all in the first session. We're gonna
We'll
spend the
take
rest of
it.
the campaign crit failing.
We have an Eric 15. We have... I'm just gonna make sure that the music isn't crazy loud for everybody. It's fairly... I might just crank it down just a little bit. Javier gets a 5. And Arthur gets a 4. Nice. Alright. So it is Kesh, Eric, then I've rolled for everybody else. The enemies got a 13, and your allies, the three Wildwood Brigadiers and the tender, got a 7. So it is Kesh first. Kesh, you break in. You have prepared an action to use your hunter's sense. There is more than one elemental, but I presume you're fixated on the big one.
The big one. I'm looking at the big one.
You are looking at the big one. You notice, so you learn what? It's damage, immunities, and resistances?
Yes. What is its weaknesses?
It's weak to nothing. It is, however, immune to fire and poison.
Okay.
It is also resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage from non-magical attacks.
I don't really have magical attacks.
And you would also get the... this is just, I'll tell you for free, being near it will probably be unpleasant. Like, being within melee range of it is probably going to be, like, unpleasant for people. It is shedding light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for an additional 30 feet. So don't worry about fighting in the dark. This thing is essentially a walking, talking bonfire.
Right.
So that was your readied action. What do you do, Kesh? There are, and I'll tell you this because it's probably worth knowing, there are 3 magmins, which are sort of bipedal humanoid little shapes, look like fire goblins, basically, made of liquid hot magma. Then there are 2 magma mephits, which look a little bit more like fire ghosts. And a single large elemental that, Kesh, I will also tell you with your hunter's sense, it's probably been hurt. Not badly, but it has been injured. Your friendly Wildwood Brigadiers did not go down, it did not go softly into that good night. So, what do you do?
Position-wise, the little ones.
Yep.
Where
So
it's-
the
what's the kind of like what's the layout? Is like
you are coming in from the south. You are looking up at them. The conjuration circle is off to the left. Around it and in a sort of semicircle in front of it are the 3 Wildwood Brigadiers. Behind them is the Tender. The Tender appears hurt, but does seem to be still casting magic. The 3 Magmins are sort of menacing the 3 Wildwood Brigadiers. The Mephits and the Elemental, however, have turned to pay attention specifically to you as you guys enter the grove.
right. Well,
They are between you and the conjuration circle, pretty much equidistant.
cool. All right. Well, Hunter Sense is an action, so I can't attack, unfortunately. But
No, it was a held action, so you can attack.
oh, sweet! I am going to use.
I'll say you used your reaction for this turn to use that then.
Cool. Alrighty. Well, then I'm going to. Where has it?
I believe that's how it works. And if not, I'm the DM, so screw it.
Sorry, I'm struggling to find my freaking things on my sheet.
Shoot it! Shoot it with your bow! Shoot her!
Alright, I'm going to use my bonus action to use Slayer's Prey on Big Elemental.
Which is like Hunter's Mark, but better.
Yeah, every time I hit it, if I hit it on the first time I attack it in a turn, it takes
Yep.
an extra 1d6 damage.
Nice. Very well. And then you are going to shoot it with your action,
I'm
presumably.
going to shoot it with my longbow.
Nice. Roll me a longbow attack. Pew pew pew. It needs
Is a 14 going to hit?
It does.
Oh, thank God. Wait, damage coming up. So, of course, it will have resistance, and I'm going to go 2 plus 4, so 6, and we need to add the
6
d6.
plus another
for-
d6.
Plus another d6, and I got a 5, so 11.
11 points, and it's all non-magical, isn't it? Because of that, that's not a magical effect to apply to it.
No.
Very well then. So it takes 11 points of damage that, as you know, it is resistant to. So it takes 5 damage. Yeah. Cool. Nicely done, Kesh. It takes that in its shoulder, and it doesn't appear to really notice. In fact, the arrow bursts into flames as it hits it. But it definitely, you stuck it good. All right. Next we have, who was after that? Eric. What do you do?
Okay. Is there a group of elementals?
Yes. There is the big one and 2 of its buddies, the 2 Mephits, are within would all be within a 20-foot circle.
No, nothing with that kind of range, unfortunately.
well.
What about within 5 feet of each other?
One of the Mephits is within 5 foot of the big one.
Okay.
The other is not.
Great. Okay. I'm going to cast the only non-fire damage spell that I have
Nice.
by plucking one of my feathers, and it freezes in my talons, and
Ooh.
then
Ooh.
throwing it,
Ice
casting
knife.
Ice Knife
Nice.
at 2nd level.
Nice. Alrighty. Sure. Roll me the attack.
Yep.
Can
I'm
I
remembering
keep going,
correctly.
Or am I going
Ooh.
crazy?
I'm hearing
Uh,
that too.
It's probably in the there is an underlying rumble in the
Okay. I was just
Sirenscape.
like, has Banjo sat down next to the mic and just
Could be.
preparing?
And just
Bazuzu! Lovely
There
to
is
have
a
you here. Good evening, Bazuzu.
burrito.
I didn't actually
So-
put the stream kitty in. So 22 does hit, which I assumed you guessed.
Yes.
For 1, that's rough. Oh, that's rough. I'm
Ooh.
gonna double it because it's cold. There you go. I'll give you
Thanks.
2.
Well, that's the piercing damage. So
Yeah.
I'll
And then
take
it
that too.
explodes.
And then it explodes into a shower of frozen quills.
Nice.
Ooh.
All right. Like a hedgehog exploded.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, I'm not sure I like that analogy.
Or a sea urchin. How about that?
Yeah, that doesn't have a face, so that's better.
Still
Do you
alive.
know
But...
that they're called sea urchins because hedgehogs used to be called urchins?
No, I did not know
they're
that.
Actually, yeah, so they're called sea urchins because people called hedgehogs urchins. So technically, it just means like sea hedgehog.
Indeed, Omi. Ice, baby. 6. Look, that's the average.
Cold damage.
6 cold damage to it and also the Mephit standing next to it. Is there a dex save?
Yeah, there is.
Alright. Let's see, because they're both rubbish at it. Oh yeah, no. What's your DC?
My DC is 14.
The Magma Mephit. No, actually, both of them get 13.
Great. And I realised there's another D6 on top of that because I cast it at 2nd level.
Nice.
So I'll add that as well.
Another one. 6!
That's
There you go. 12
Fantastic.
cold damage. That's what we want. So, and the other one, wow. So yeah, the one of the Mephits, like this one, this does seem to incommode the elemental a bit. Like a good portion of its front of its chest sort of seizes up, and you can see that the flames reduce themselves to just burning rock instead of actual bonfire. Whereas the Mephit next to it, these things are more like just pure fire. And it dims in brightness almost by half.
Brilliant. I would also like to get somewhere between halfway between my group and the tender.
Well, the elementals are about halfway between your group and the tender.
Oh,
there is a.
No, in that case, no.
You can go off to an angle. You can go off to the side, head up to go around to sort of flank around.
Yeah, maybe just 15 feet out. I don't want to go too far away from my team, but I want to be able to get close to the
Fair enough.
if I need to.
All right, and I want to be clear, Kesh, you didn't move closer at all, did you?
No, I have stayed at a
Alrighty.
respectful distance.
Well, I would say that they are at about 60 feet from you and about 60 feet from the tenders as well. All right? Just to give you good distances. And next, it is the boys. And the elementals are going to come towards you. You are, however, outside of the range of their movement. Even the big boy fire elemental only has a speed of 50 feet. So the fire elemental is going to march right up to you. He is going to march right up to actually Kesh, because Kesh is the.
I did shoot him.
You did shoot him, and he's going to use his bonus action to move right up to you. Gets all up in you, George Foreman, and he's there. Like, you're about crotch height on him, unfortunately, but yeah, he's there, and that's all he can do. However, the 3 Magmins. Yeah, technically he got nommed. And the 3 Magmins are going to attack the 3 Brigadiers. A 12, a natural yeet. Oh dear. I have a dice that says yeet on the 20 spot. So one of them got a crit, and a 15 will also hit, and then a 19. Gosh, oops.
I'm not level 6 yet.
So the 3 Magmins all hit with their touch attacks against the 3 guys that they're attacking, which means, and it's 2d6 fire damage. Okay, 1 and 5.
Well, he's rolling a lot of dice.
12.
He's gagging
Alright.
while he's doing it.
Both well. Both real well.
No, and one of them only barely got hurt. One of them was barely hurt. One of them was real badly hurt though. Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. One of them was straight up killed.
Wait, killed, or
Yeah. One of them. Well, he's knocked unconscious, but he bursts into flames as one of these Mephits just Magmin rather just grabs him, and he just bursts into flames. This was the crit. I rolled 3 6s.
Oh, yikes.
I didn't even
I'm glad
need
we
to
got
roll. I didn't even need to roll the 4th dice, because it was double damage. 2d6s becomes 4d6s. I rolled 18 on the first 3. I was like, well, that's that. Good.
He did.
He on fire. He on fire bad. A 2 for the last one, so he took 20 damage from the first Magman. And then the other 2 took 5 and 9 respectively. Okay, cool. Then we go. It's actually your allies' turn to strike back. The tender says, "No, not like this," and uses healing word. Can I get? Omi, can you roll me a 1d4 in chat, please? And we will use that for the healing word. And then the other 2 attack the Magmins that are attacking them. The 4 don't go hit, but the 12 will. Thank you, Omi. 2. Yeah, he's back on his feet with 2 hit points, but he is back awake, and he will get to have a go as well. He gets a crit.
Oh shit! Nice work.
All right.
The brush with death was really motivating for him.
Amazing. Yeah, he got 9. He did a 9 damage with his crit, which actually kills the Magman.
Yeah, die, Magma.
That's exactly what he needed, and he dropped it. It explodes, and he goes back down again, unfortunately. But he did take out one of your enemies. He's now very on fire. Yeah, one of the other guys managed to hit one of the Magmen for 6 damage. But the other guy missed his target. Cool. And now we go back. Now we're back to you guys. Javier, it is your turn.
Well, I mean, I was holding Bane, but...
Oh, please, yes, you cast Bane on which? How many of them? How many of them can you do it on?
Yeah, obviously depends on what level I want to do it. So how many are left alive?
There are 5 of them left alive.
Screw it. I'll do the big one and the 2...
However, what's the range on Bane? Because you're about 120 feet.
Well, I'm 120 feet away.
You're 120 feet away from the ones who are menacing the Wildwood Brigadiers. The other 3 are like right up in front of you.
Oh, right. So which are the other 3 in front of us?
The 2 Mephits and the Elemental.
Alright, well, I'll get those 3.
Yeah. Cool. Now they have, what, negative D4 to their attacks?
Yeah, if they make a charisma saving throw.
Yeah. Ah, charisma saves. Or if they don't make a charisma save. Well, a 3 isn't going to do it. But a 16 probably will. Does a charisma... what's the charisma? 0. So an 11 probably doesn't. And a 9 definitely doesn't. So yeah, yeah, one of them makes it. I will say one of the magma methods does, but the other 2 do not. The 3 was definitely the fire elemental who has a -2, so he actually gets a 1.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, he has. So yeah, the wounded mephit and the elemental are at negative disadvantage to attack. Well, not disadvantage, but yeah. Nice. All right, now it is your turn.
So wait, that was my held action.
That was your held action, but now I will happily let you have an actual action now.
What is your... how close are they together?
They have all sort of headed towards you guys. Again, they're not like next to each other, but they're within 10 feet of each other. So they would be... they're all within 20 feet.
If I were to cast Create Water...
Yeah.
And have it fall as rain in a 30-foot cube, what would you reckon that would do?
It would hit all 3 of them.
I think that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Nice.
I'll be like, Yablaka.
All right, how many gallons of water can you create?
I'm pretty sure it's really...
1 gallon?
10 gallons.
All right, that's pretty good. Over a 30-foot. Can you be more specific about where to cast? It's like if you cast it in a line.
Well, I mean, yeah, I feel like I just want to do like a kind of.
Just
like
want rain on them. Yeah.
Just a just to maximize that. Probably, yeah, centered on the elemental and like the.
Alrighty. In which case, what we'll do, Bazuzu, could you type roll space 2 in chat, please? That will evens is good, odds are bad for splash damage. Whether or not it splatters off the elemental once it hits it. So you create a sort of a faucet of water that launches out at the elemental. I will get you to make a ranged spell attack because you are sort of trying to direct this. Thank you, Bazuzu. That is a positive. So you will be getting some splash damage. So as you water the thing, basically just make a ranged attack and add your spellcasting modifier, or roll the d20 and add your spellcasting ability modifier and your proficiency.
So I'm gonna roll just a d20.
Yep.
Spellcasting modifier.
Ooh. 6. 12.
That's it. And so 6. Just spellcasting?
Yes. Spellcasting mod. And your proficiency bonus.
2. So
you can't have a 16. You can't have a 6 to your proficient. It would be your 6 is your spellcasting.
That is it.
Yeah. So it'd be 12 all up.
Wow.
12 all up. Look, I'll give it to you because of the 2 that Bazuzu rolled. So yeah, there is a very specific rule in the fire elemental set that says water susceptibility. Every gallon of water splashed on it takes 1 cold damage. So you splash 10 gallons of water on it. I'm going to say you only managed to splash about 5 gallons of water on it because you rolled just under its AC. However, you get 5 gallons of water on it, and the other 5 gallons of water splashes on one of the mephits nearby it, the one that was already wounded. So that mephit takes the other 5 gallons. Yeah, we'll make a firefighter out of you. Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure of the damage. I was like, okay, one per 1 gallon. All right, that'll do, I guess.
Look, it is very vigorously on fire, and now an awful lot of steam is coming off it. Do you want to move at all? You are, I'm going to say, 10 feet behind Kesh, who is right up in front of this thing.
10 feet, and you take damage if you get near it. Actually, yeah, I'm going to move up right next to Kesh with the heat blanket, like as much as I can to like kind of.
Oh sure.
Did Kesh get soaked by the rain?
Yeah, Kesh got a little wet. I don't know about soaked.
Kesh is fine being a little wet right now.
Your nasal passages are just really like right now.
Getting a lot of steam. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like.
I feel refreshed.
Get away! You'll burn your little furry face.
All right. Thanks, Spina. Have a nice night. Thank you so much for stopping by. Cool. Arthur, it is your turn.
All right. Arthur is gonna let loose the yonks of war and fly into a rage and charge at the big motherfucker.
The big boy.
Fly into a rage.
Yeah. All right, Arthur, you are in a barbarian rage, and
as Arthur goes into a rage as well, these little shadows, like the shadows flickering from like a fireplace, kind of begin orbiting around him. As he charges towards it, I'm going to reckless attack it with my big railway hammer.
Love it. A mole. Oh, heck yeah. That hits.
17 hits?
Yes.
2 6s. Yeah, 16 plus 2 rage damage, 18
Max
points of
damage. 18 points of damage. It's all physical, no magical. Doesn't your rage doesn't make it magic?
No magic, but
It's still 18 though, not bad.
And now it has disadvantage on any attacks against creatures other than me.
Okay.
And I would like to push it back 5 feet with my crusher feet as well, and just bash it away from Javier and I.
This huge creature, you will be taking a bit of damage because you hit it, but that's really good idea. Well done. Yeah, so you are going to take a little bit of fire damage, just 7 points of fire damage that you can half because you're raging, or no, it depends on the kind of, yeah.
No, just normal damage.
It's fire damage, I'm afraid. So yeah, you take 7 points of fire damage, but it does get knocked back from you guys 5 feet, so you're no longer within the really, really hot area of effect. Very nice, Arthur. Yeah, you clock it a good one, and it now has disadvantage on everybody except you. And we go back to the top of the order. So we're back to Kesh.
Fantastic. So it is being pushed away from me.
Yeah,
correct?
the fire blanket is being held around you, and it's lucky because it was hot. It was hot. And you are now 10 feet away from it.
Right. So I would be shooting longbow with disadvantage, yes?
No, you are not within melee range of it, so you wouldn't be at disadvantage.
Oh, okay. Cool. Great. I'll shoot it again then.
But it would be a good idea to back up a little bit, possibly.
Cool. I will do so. I will back up a bit.
Yep.
And shoot it again.
Yep.
I basically put Javier between me and the
Yep.
elemental, and I'll just duck out from behind him.
Yep.
Shoot it.
Pew pew pew. Make me the attack. And I'm gonna question you because you've already cast Monster Hunter. You've already done your Hunter's Mark, but do you want to actually cast Hunter's Mark as well? Because you can stack them.
Oh, I can? I thought I could only do one. Oh, that's great. Then yes, I will definitely cast Hunter's Mark.
So you can add another d6 to every hit.
Cool. So cast Hunter's Mark.
As a bonus action before you do that, I'm happy to say you do that. So yeah, roll the damage of your bow plus your sort of Hunter's Mark and then your actual Hunter's Mark.
Cool. So 9 damage from the longbow.
Yep.
And 4 from my 2d6s.
Oh, rough. But yeah,
I know.
that's 13.
13.
Cash, I also want to
tried.
check, what is your favorite enemy?
Oh. Where would I feature this?
I'm
Elementals are my favorite enemy.
And I think you'll find if you're attacking your favorite enemies, you gain some bonuses.
Not to attack rolls, sadly.
But to damage rolls?
No. Survival checks and intelligence checks to recall information about them.
Okay. Fair enough. In which case, yeah, 13 non-magical damage. But still, that's 13 it didn't have before. So it takes that much. It takes 6. Why am I being coy? All right. Very nice, Kesh.
Call out something, cool, like, die, Bernie bastard!
Nice. Very cool.
Phew!
Pew, pew, pew. Very well. And now it's Eric.
I'm gonna look over at my companions who were a little bit away from me. I look at Arthur. I go, no, I think he's fine.
He's all good.
Glitterweave, this is for you. And I'm gonna cast Enlarge on Kesh.
Wow.
So she now has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, and her bow has increased as well. You're the large size, and your weapon attacks add an extra 1d4.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice. Love a
so
support
back
caster.
lit.
Yeah. Cash is now probably at least a head taller than you, Javier.
I can now see over him to the
Yeah.
elemental.
Yeah. Yeah. Your cover is gone. Where did you do that?
And then I'm gonna go full 30 feet towards the
Sure.
other group.
You're skirting
and
around.
help them.
Yep, noted.
Yeah.
Love it. Alrighty, you do that. And now it is the enemies and then your allies and then we'll... Right, so the elemental is going to... in fact, no, the two methods are going to go first. The two methods both have this thing called flame breath.
That sounds nice.
they're going to catch you both, the three of you, they're going to both manage to get you in a 15-foot cone of fire. Can you make me dexterity saving throws, everybody but Eric?
Oh shit, I'm not very good. This isn't an attack, this is just ability of theirs, isn't it?
Yes. It does technically, it is an attack.
Like,
It's an action.
To hit?
No, it's an area effect,
That's
so
the
they...
only thing. Okay, dexterity saving throw.
Does a
Fuck.
12 do it?
12 does do it, actually.
Nice.
You will need... Oh, no, I'll let both count. So a 10 and a 7 don't. Yeah, and a 4 definitely doesn't offer, I'm afraid.
Oh, sorry.
Are you just keeping rolling them?
I love that I just doubled in size and I still managed to dodge.
Yeah, it was neatly done. Yeah.
19 out of 10, I think.
Oh, well, there was a 4 as well. In between the 10 and the 19.
And 10, and I'm just getting ellipses from.
Oh, right, okay. That's all right. Yeah, you dodge one, but not the other. Yeah, Kesh, can you roll me again? And Javier, can you roll again? Because there was 2 of them. And Javier, you might dodge the second, and Kesh has a decent chance to. Kesh does not. Come on, Javier. Neither does Javier. He got enough on the dice, and it was -1. Rough. Okay, so taking 6 damage from the first, and 4 from the second. A total of 10 if you manage to dodge neither. If you manage to dodge one of them, it's just 6. It's just 4, Cash.
Checks.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, it is 6, actually. I do apologize. Cash, you got 6. Javier, you're all good. Cash also needs to make a Constitution save to maintain concentration on Hunter's Mark. But yeah, so yeah, 10 points of damage to both Arthur and Javier, and Kesh takes 7 for the half damage on the first and the full damage on the second. That is their fire breaths, and then the big elemental boy is actually going to stride up to Arthur because, yeah, it's got to attack you. It does have, however, a negative 1d4. I'm pretty confident the 8's going to miss.
You got an advantage.
Ooh, that 12. It was a 16, but I rolled a 4. So it's going to take it down to 12, but it does have a plus quite a bit.
Ooh.
Its plus is, I think, 6. So it's got an I think it's 18 to hit for one of its attacks. It does 7 fire damage.
Oh. That's alright. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's like a,
Till the creature
like
takes
a
damage.
campfire.
Are you wearing anything that you would consider flammable at all?
Other than feathers.
Feathers aren't like hugely flammable. I would say they're part of you, and therefore, like, eventually, if you really wanted to, you could set them on fire. But I wouldn't say like it'll go up like a light.
Well, I mean, I've got clothes on and I've got a hat.
Oh, the hat might be singed.
Oh.
And you're already in a rage, so it's...
Yeah, it just makes me angrier.
Yeah. The remaining 2 magma methods on the other side, again, roll super good. Both of them hit their targets for a 3 and a... Oh, dear. Another 6. That takes down one of the other Wildwood Brigadiers. Magmins, sorry. Magmins. One of them is more hurt, one of the others goes down. The tender, in response, says, "No, not you as well." And the guy who just went down gets back up again. Can we have Gallant? Yeah, Gallant. Can you roll me exclamation mark roll space 4 in chat, please? Roll 1d4 to res that guy. A 4, lovely. Thank you very much. So he reses and oh wow, yeah, that'll do. Yeah, so one of them gets a 6. He hits and takes out the fire magmin that is attacking him, and I'm going to make him roll for his dexterity because he might actually manage to dodge some of the damage. He does. Wow. He takes 3. He is on 1 hit point. And the Magman is down. Is the other guy going to be able to do anything? No, the other guy is like, stop hitting me! And yeah, the third Magman is still up and healthy. And we now are looking at Javier.
Alrighty. So you didn't move any. Did you move anywhere from next to me when you did the shooty arrow?
I'm behind you, but taller than you now.
Yes, of course. And so the big fucker is in front of you. Screw it. I'm gonna guiding bolt that son of a bitch.
Nice. Do it. First level, second level. Siri, shush, honey. Daddy's busy.
I'm just. Oh yeah, second level.
Yes, Dewey.
Here we go.
Come on.
My God.
Oh,
Oh, that's rough.
no, I'm afraid not. That is a miss. Yeah. Do you have anything else you would like to do?
How far away is he?
10 feet.
Actually, I'm going to. Oh no, I can't do it. Action. Well, now seeing the fact that I'm pretty sure they're fine. I'm going to kind of try and scamp around and then try and get towards the Magmins, I guess, like run that
Sure.
way.
There's only one left, but yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, is the other Mephit still alive?
Yeah, both of the... one of the methods is badly dwindled. The other is still fully healthy.
Okay, and are they encroaching on any of my other friends?
Yeah, they just breathe fire on the three of you.
Okay, can I position myself to kind of, I guess, flank them?
Yeah, you can do that. You can flank one of them, not both, but one.
As in one of them, yeah, one
Yep.
of them.
Sure.
Yeah.
The injured one or the not injured one?
The not injured one.
Very well. You do that. Arthur, it is your turn.
Yeah, just keep swinging. You gotta keep charging after the big one and
Yep.
go for another reckless.
Do it. Oh, that's rather crunchy and loud. 19
All right.
or 9. Yeah,
I'll take
19. I'll take that. Roll that damage. 10.
10 plus 2, 12, down to 6 damage.
Yeah.
And disadvantage on everyone else. And I'll
Love
push
it.
it back 5 feet again.
Oh,
Just
he
keep
keeps
away
just getting
from us.
crunched. Yeah, love it.
Go out, go out.
Go to sleep. You take 4 fire damage from this interaction, but yes, you're still hurting it more than it's hurting you. Every time you hurt it. Cool. We go. Unless you
I'd just
want
like
to do
take a
anything.
moment to remind everyone that this is an angry goose wearing a flat cap,
Yeah.
slightly scorched,
Wielding
punching a fire element.
wielding a big old hammer.
Sorry, hammering a fire. It's great.
It's a fantastic mental image. You're like basically like the archetypal genie image, but a fire thing, being fought by a large goose.
Beautiful.
The angriest creatures in the world.
Yeah, a thing made entirely of fire and a goose. Yeah, cool. We go back to the top of the order. Kesh, finish him.
I don't know if I can, but we shall try. I will shoot him again.
Kesh, do you have any
I got-
spells?
No,
That
I don't
might-
have any attack spells.
Okay.
Don't forget you add a D4 for your big bow now.
Yeah, that's true. And you've
Sorry.
got 2
I got
things
2d6
cast on
and a
it.
D4 to add to my bows.
Let's stack that damage.
I gotta hit it first. Don't
Yeah,
jinx
well.
me.
Come on, Cash. We believe in you. Mess with the honk, you get the bonk. Love it, Omi. Oh no,
I miss.
you did.
Oh.
That's rough.
I'm very sad.
Is there anything about favorite enemies you get advantages to hit? No, you don't, do you?
No,
Alrighty.
managed to hit.
Eric. Ice knife's good. Do that.
Sorry, can you just give me a recap on where our enemies are?
So you have a single Magmin facing off against the two living Wildwood Brigadiers and the remaining tender near the Conjuration Circle. The remaining 3 things there is the big elemental, which is starting to fade. Bits of its skin are now like just magma rather than fire. One of the two magma methods is very faded. The other is still very healthy, and that one is being flanked by Javier.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Can I get? Is the elemental's been pushed back, so I'm not going to be able to get it with another one, am I?
Another ice knife.
Yeah. It's not adjacent to another one of its allies, is it?
It would actually be within 5 feet of one of its wounded allies.
Really? Frozen feather, ice knife.
Do it. Make that attack. What I love about this one is that you don't need to hit because you didn't. It sort of lands in the floor at its feet, but then it explodes. It's because you're quite a way away now. You're like 45 feet. You're not a particularly buff dude, so you just throw the feather. Feathers are light. It's really hard to throw a feather, but you manage to get it almost the whole 45 feet. Then it explodes, and they will both make dex saves. Needing 14. Oh wow, the elemental did make it, but the other did not. Actually, it's a -2. It didn't make it.
Nice.
Oh no, wait, it's a dex save, isn't it? No, it's a +3, sorry. It definitely made it. It got an 18. But the other did not.
Alright, well, that was 10 cold
10. The first magman disappears. And the elemental takes half of that, I believe. So,
Yes.
definitely a good portion of the skin along its side becomes like molten skin rather than flames. And it roars in anger and frustration.
Okay.
Uh,
I'm going to stay where I am, kind of in between the two groups. But anyone who's looking will notice that my feather is starting to glow a little bit.
Very well. Ooh. Love it. Good flavor. Alrighty. We are to the enemies. And one of them had just got exploded. It exploded in a puff of fire, but the only thing next to it was also a fire elemental, so it didn't really mind. If anything, it liked it. Yeah, so the remaining magmen, first of all, hits the guy it's attacking again, but only does 1 damage. So he's oh dear. He's not looking good.
Isn't that its exact health?
No, that's the new one. That's one of the other guys. And then there is the elemental and the magma mephit still facing you guys. The magma mephit does not recharge its flame breath. The elemental is going to make 2 attacks at Arthur because he's right up in front of it. It gets a 7 on the first. If you were recklessly attacked, it gets advantage as well. Yeah, alright, then it hits you. I'm pretty sure an 18 or no, 20 will do it. Even if I take the D4, yeah, 19. 19. So yeah, that's 2d6s, a 6 and a 3, 9 plus 3, yeah, 12 fire damage. And then the second one, ooh, that's less good. Ooh, 15.
Damage?
No, 15 to hit.
Oh, right. Yeah, it gets me by 1.
Oh, blood. Sorry. 4 and 11 more fire damage.
Yep. Something is very cooked, and Arthur is down.
Oh, the goose is cooked.
Oh,
The goose is cooked.
Fully cooked.
Katish. Oh dear.
Oh, he was fun while he lasted.
Yeah, look, he's all right. He's just unconscious.
Very delicious, I promise.
He's just unconscious, and it's now Javier's turn. The party healer is up. Oh no, wait, sorry. Javier, you are next to a mephit that does make a claw attack at you. I'm pretty confident that 21 is going to hit. So it does does attack you a little bit for ooh, wow, 8 damage.
Okay, 8
And
damage.
now it's your turn.
Alright, thank you. Okay, so how are we all looking, everyone?
Arthur's not looking great.
Yeah,
Arthur, not looking so great. Not looking crash hot, I think. Okay.
I'm imagining this voice coming from the cat, and I love it.
I've got my notes blocking it, so I can't actually see Banjo. Oh, there he is. Hello, Banjo.
Cutie, yes.
Okay, so I want to be healing him then.
Yeah.
Firstly, I'm going to... Nah, do I want to heal him, though? Do I?
It's about to be his turn.
Oh, it is about to be his turn. You know what? Nah, screw that. I'm going to cast as a bonus action, Spiritual Weapon.
Actually, can I make a point? I do apologize, Javier. It's actually not necessarily his turn. It is your ally's turn. They didn't have a go. So the 2 Wildwood Brigadiers are going to try for the method, the remaining Magmen. One of them gets enough to hit him. It's definitely not the guy who's been being beaten up by it the whole time. He manages to do 4 damage to it. No, 5 damage to it. And then the tender goes, "Our saviors!" and reaches out and casts Healing Word on Arthur. And Arthur regains... Serum, can you roll me a d4 in chat, please? Arthur, you'll get that many hit points back.
Oh, wow.
Lovely, lovely. Serum, it better be a 4.
Anything is good. There you go. 1, there you are. Hey, look, it's what you
should've
needed.
jinxed it, man. You shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah. So yeah, you do that, and yeah, look, it wasn't ever going to be. It is adding plus his ability modifier, so it's actually like 3. There you are. He's not an amazing healer, but he is a healer. And now it is Javier's turn. So spiritual weapon, you say?
Correct.
Who do you do it to?
I summon it on the big dude.
Love it.
Oh, no, sorry, the method that I'm on, is that damage? Does that get
Not
damage?
at all. Hasn't taken any damage yet.
Well, yeah, I'll do it behind the method I'm about to attack. Yeah.
Very well.
I'm there.
Oh, that's the bonus action. Yeah, of course. You do that, and then you attack it.
I do, but I'll also cast on the big guy. I'll channel Divinity, Path to the Grave.
That is an action?
Yep.
Sure.
I can
So
do that, right?
the spiritual weapon is going to attack him, and you're casting Path to the Grave.
Yeah, so no, the spiritual weapon is attacking the method in front of me, and I'm pathing to the grave, the big dude.
Sure. So you're not actually making a physical attack yourself.
No, so I'm spiritually, but I am spiritually. When I cast spiritual weapon, it is an attack.
Yeah. No, I know.
Cool.
All good.
Cool. All right. Okay, so attacking with that bad boy.
Yes, please.
17.
17 hits against the method.
And it does 11 damage.
It's pretty good. It doesn't kill it, but it does hurt it very badly. It does not enjoy that experience at all. It dims perceptibly and hisses at you.
I just stare at it. I stare at it in utilities, my friend.
You do that.
You cannot intimidate me.
Yep, and then you cast Path to the Grave. What does Path to the Grave do?
Path to the grave. Now there is a dream that you once had, and that dream manifested itself into your worst nightmare. Now the worst nightmare is staring you right in the face, and then, and only then, it jumps out at you, doing twice the normal damage. So you do double damage. The next hit against it does double damage.
Nice. Cool. Alrighty. And it's Kesh.
Excellent. But
Kesh,
at least
hit
I
it.
have a motherfucker to shoot.
You do. You definitely have a double motherfucker to shoot.
Do
Come
I
on,
get the
Cash.
turn?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Arthur. It is Arthur first. I will keep the 13 because it hits. Arthur, you do get your turn. You are on the ground. You are on 3 hit points, and I'm sorry. It is in fact your turn.
He's just gonna pick himself up, smoking, half-charred clothes. I didn't hear no bell. He's gonna drink and smack it again recklessly.
Yeah, sensible. No.
I love barbarians.
Yeah. You do that.
Absolutely.
Come on, Arthur.
1 or 21.
Or a 21. Yeah, you get it. I'll give you that for free.
17 damage.
17.
Is it is double, yeah?
And then it's actually 15. It's actually 17 damage. You actually do the full 17. Because it doubles what was halved, so I'm just calling it what it was. Which is actually better for you.
I'll push it back 5 feet.
Yeah.
And
Although maybe a tactical retreat would be a clever thing to do, and I'm just gonna move.
Nikolai, you know how whenever you hit it, you get hurt by fire?
Yeah, right.
you take 2 fire damage.
Oh no.
I rolled it. It's a D10. You got a 2.
Amazing. The perfect amount of cooked.
Yeah, perfect amount of cooked. All right, Kesh, you hit it. Kesh, finish him.
All right. So we'll start off
Yep, sorry, I'm helping.
with my 10 from the longbow,
10 from the longbow.
and then we get my 2d6s,
Come on, big money, no whammies.
which adds another 4.
Plus the D4.
Plus the D4.
Yes. Plus the
Whoop.
D4.
Whoop.
And a 4.
Hey!
18 damage.
18 damage, which all gets halved, but you know what you needed? Hey, Kesh, how do you do this?
I draw myself up to my currently not inconsiderable height, and as I fire it over Javier's head, I'll shout.
I moved.
Oh, I do apologize. So I don't shoot over Javier's head. I just shoot it. I'm exposed, and I shout, "Get out of my forest!"
You do that.
This is my swamp.
And where does the arrow hit it?
Dead center of its fiery mass.
Oh, yeah. And it's already been knocked backwards by Arthur like 3 times. It's staggering a little bit, and then the arrow hits it in its chest, and the flames just seem to flicker around it, and it just sort of, its arms go slack, and it just collapses backwards onto the ground, and there's a thump. Everybody's sort of, whoa, okay. And it is now, unless, Kesh, do you want to do anything else? You have a bonus action to move your Hunter's Mark to something else, for example?
I'll move my Hunter's Mark to whatever enemy is now the closest to me.
There's a pretty near one near to you, to Javier.
Yes, I will move it to that one.
Very well. It is Eric's turn.
Is it just the one?
There is an injured Magmin and an injured Mephit. But they are like 60 feet apart, 60 feet away from you each, and they're about 120 feet apart. So actually, I'm like 70 feet away from you.
Oh, okay. I thought I was.
You'd be nearer. Actually, sorry, you would be nearer to the Mephit than the Magmin.
Okay. How close to it?
45 feet, 50 feet, something like that.
Okay. Let's do another ice knife at first level. At the method is what my friends are fighting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Javier is next to it, but yes.
Look, you know what? No, I think they've got it under control. Ice snipe on the Magman as I'm running that direction.
Sure, you do that. Make a ranged spell attack.
9.
A 9. A 9 does not, but it explodes.
It sure does. Okay.
It's going to make a dex save, as are the 2 guys fighting it.
I was gonna say that I would kind of do it behind.
Try for them. Yeah, the roll was very low to hit though. It got a nat 1, and the other 2 guys both actually made their dex saves. Well, one of I would say only one of them would have been within the area of effect, and that's the less injured of the 2. So, and he takes half damage. So he actually takes 3 damage, which means he does not die. He had 4 hit points left, whereas the Magman failed and took the full 7 and explodes.
Killing the guy.
Yeah. killing both of them, actually. They both go down again.
No.
But, yeah, but the tender's still okay. And they're...
I'm running my full 30 feet to them because I'm about to
Yeah,
help them
sure.
back up.
I'll roll a death save for the other guy. He actually passed.
Hey.
He got a 19. That was really close. He could have just gotten right back up again. He's already been up and down twice. Right, so we go to the enemies. There is only a single fire method left. It's looking pretty uncertain about the situation. It does not recharge its fire breath. It rolls only a 12 to hit Javier. Javier, does a 12 beat your AC?
Negatory.
In which case, Javier, it is your turn. Actually, no, it's the allies. The tender is going to res one of his buddies, the one who went down first. So the one who's already had to make a death save. The other two make death saves. A 2 and a 3. Nope. The guys who both just got exploded a bit have failed a death save. But Eric's on his way. And yeah, now it's Javier's turn.
Alright, well first I'm just going to see if this hits with this spiritual weapon.
Love it. Nope. That one?
That's okay. That's okay. I'm going to... I'm going to see if I can gore him.
Yes.
Yes.
Is he looking pretty rough?
He's looking a bit faded. He's looking bloodied, let's put it that way.
Oh, but that doesn't do enough. That won't do enough. Oh, that won't do enough.
Well, these are magma methods rather than like they're not, they're like the elemental. They're not necessarily resistant to stuff. You don't know what they're resistant to. If anything.
Yeah, alright. I'm just going to use Inflict Wounds.
Ooh.
Such a good spell.
Yes.
Just going to use Inflict
Simple,
Wounds.
to the point.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
Can I clarify, is Arthur down again?
No, Arthur's alright. He's on 1 hit point. It was close. 25 to hit. Yes, it hits. Well done.
Holy shit.
4d10. Why didn't you lead with it? Jesus Christ.
Holy crap!
So I
make a yeah, okay. I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Javier, how do you do this? You've just done 3 times the amount of damage it had left of hit points.
I go.
Obliterated.
Do you smell that? That is the good shit.
And its eyes sort of go wide, and then it goes wide as it explodes. It does unfortunately explode though.
It's fine.
Oh, actually, methods don't. Death burst. No, it does. Make a dex save, please.
The thing that I am least proficient at.
It'll be fine.
It'd be fine. You needed 11, I'm afraid. You take 6 fire damage as it explodes, and combat ends. And you know what? It's 11 o'clock. I think we might leave it there.
I'd cast prayer hearing shit to get everyone up, but you know.
Yeah, you can do that next time. And I will say, presumably, that Eric will also res those people. We will be starting from where we currently are. But,
Awesome.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, that was a pretty heavy-duty first episode. So let's have some sexy jazz back. Or some, it's actually pretty chill. It goes a bit Gregorian chant at some places. Some chill jazz. So, guys, we're going to do, we've gone a little bit over, but I wanted to finish the combat before we ended. So, we're going to do a quick favorite moments here. Because we do our favorite moments here, that's what we like to do. Chat, if you have favorite moments as well, please chuck them up in chat. We'll have a look. We love to see what you guys think we did really well. I think we had some really good moments. Karen, your experience in favorite moments. Can we have you go first?
Yes.
What was your favorite you moment?
My favorite me moment. Consults notes. That's nothing.
I'm feeling that.
Oh, Serum's already teasing me.
Would you like us to go first?
Yeah, you guys tell me what I did great.
Yeah,
and
let's
hopefully
tell Karen how great
I
she
did
was.
great.
Alrighty. My favorite Karen. I really enjoyed sort of Kesh taking charge. And I enjoyed it because I know Karen quite well. And Karen is, this is the woman I love. He's not a particularly domineering person. It's not someone who it is natural for them to take charge. So it was really cool to see you step up and do that and be that role and play that role, which was really interesting to watch for me. I thought that was really good.
Excellent.
Thoughts, gentlemen, and theys.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like it's hard to take on like an NPC role and turn it into your own player character as well. And you've done that really well too. So like
It was a big ask.
Yeah.
He asked me, and I was just like, sure.
No, and immediately she comes into the stream. So Kesh had a very bit part on Monday night in the Humblewood stream over on Roll for Damage. Check that out, guys, if you fancy seeing it. It's on in the first 20 minutes, so you will catch it. But yeah, Kesh came in pretty fully formed, and with way more detail work than I'd ever bothered doing on it. There was
what do you know about Kesh?
there was a voice, and I was like, bam, I didn't have a voice. Cool, good job, love it. Yeah. So yeah, I agree completely. It is hard to do that. Brendan, Josh, what do you reckon?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have embraced this her kind of thrust upon role of being the glue to keep the rest of us together. And so I'm really excited to see how that develops and whether Kesh succeeds.
Yeah.
I definitely I took the approach of viewing Kesh more like the primary school teacher for the one who runs around with a box of matches, the one who just runs screaming, throwing sand into the other kid's eyes, sniffing glue, and the kid who just wears nothing but one color for the rest, 1 week, and then just steals everyone else's one color, and is just what's the problem? This is how you get people to like you, and and Kesh is we have to there is order and a process, and I will put you in the naughty corners. This is the setup. I feel like that's just obligatory. And then when you actually enlarged, it's more you've put your teacher pants on, and you're now, students, listen here.
Shoot the thing.
Did not eat an apple a day to heal you. Anyway, that's what I got. I like that.
We have a couple from chat. Karen, if you're thinking, Rachel, all 4 of these characters are delightful. In fact, she uses the word fucking delightful, and we can't wait to see how they work as a group. And Omi's favorite Karen, I mean, what else do I have to do on my day off but answer to the council calls? Exactly.
I thought of a moment.
Go on then.
I really enjoyed trying to explain to Javier that maybe shaving all his hair off wasn't a very good idea. Because my instinct was to go, that's stupid. Why would you just what? But good thought. However,
exactly.
However,
Teacher.
Unexpected downside. And then he went and did a little bit anyway. So I got to work on my persuasion.
Hey, look, it was pretty. Yeah,
got me halfway there.
In the armory as well with Arfa, it was just the buckets. It's oh, maybe it's not. Maybe don't.
She's I am surrounded by idiots. Fortunately, Kesh, at least this time, Eric is at least not an idiot. So you only have to wrangle 2 Muppets rather than 3, like V used to have to.
Occasionally V just point. Yeah, occasionally V would just point the idiots in a direction and be go. Unleash your chaos.
This time the idiots will take over.
Yeah. Alrighty. Yeah. So, yes, Karen did extremely well. We all agree. Is there any chance of crossover cameos and chaotic energy mass crossover for big ass boss team member swaps? Yeah, probably, Omi. Maybe not between Academy and this. I don't. But probably between Humblewood of Flocks and Fire and Humblewoods of Monsters and Magic.
All the Humblewoods at once.
Yeah, that would be a
8
cool day.
players versus 1 DM.
I also kind of want to have Thicklehorn come in, Dan's character from the one shot on Sunday. Several of them are really great. I really enjoyed them. Let's talk about somebody else. I would like to talk about Brendan because this is Brendan's first ever favorite moments. So let's talk about Brendan because Brendan did a dead set. We were going to do a session 0 and we just didn't because I've been extremely busy and I hadn't had time to organize it. And then when I said, hey, can you do this? Brendan was like, no. So we just didn't, and Brendan got thrown in the deep end. And I've had that myself. I got called like an hour before we went live. I was like, what? So I know what it's like, and I did it to him anyway. And he rose to the occasion like a champ. So guys, what do we reckon? What favorite Brendan moments?
I reckon he's the grounded character in this universe.
Mm-hmm.
So like, whereas we're all kind of like, yes, I could give a shit about this one thing, but you know, I don't really have any attachment to this one way or another. And let's just keep doing whatever we feel like. And you're just like, no, I have roots here, and I make sense, and I actually am probably going to have more of an impact here, and it's going to be juicy. And we're like, yeah, sure, you just keep being strong. And so I loved, even when you were saying like, you're worried about your disfigurement or anything like that, and we're all kind of like, yeah, we didn't notice anything wrong with you, honestly. Yeah, no, you're cool. You're cool.
You're all good, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, cool.
I really enjoyed your interaction with Havel. I had not. I love. I borrowed this from Sean O'Donovan for Paradise RPG. The introducing all the characters with vignettes, and I had no idea where any of you were going to go with it. And Brendan immediately goes, "It's like, yeah, I'm not even in the city." I'm like, "Wow, okay, I'm going to have to bring you back then." So Havel brings you back, and you immediately get to talk to Havel. And it's like, I love having all these characters that I know quite well, and I love being Havel. I love any opportunity to be Havel. He's such a nice, genuine character, and yeah, getting to have that interaction and him be the only person that you've entrusted with a secret that I, the DM, don't even know. Of exactly what shit went down that allowed Eric to acquire his crazy good powers. And Havel's like, no, it's fine. I guess it's fine. I actually don't know. But he knows. I don't. He does. And yeah, I really enjoyed. Basically, my note is, Brendan, you rolled with the punches amazingly in every single way, and I have massive respect for that. Well done.
I like the, I don't know, if it was obvious that you were trying to misdirect with like the I'm fire man and we're going to fight fire things. Ice knife. Ice. I'm fine, guys. Ice. Ice baby.
I'm a little concerned that my entire skill set is going to be reduced to the one cold spell that I have. So hopefully we fight things that are not fire immune
eventually.
But it was a fun challenge to try to find that. I mean, I'm speaking, so I guess I'll go.
What's your favorite you?
There was a lot. I really enjoyed the role play with Havel, but it's kind of a shared moment with Karen. I really loved the image of giant Kesh. And I was umming and ahhing, like, putting it on the barbarian seems like the obvious choice.
Yeah.
And so I almost went with that. But then I thought, it would be funny to say the captain of this ragtag group just enlarge and then add 3 extra dice on top of her regular damage dice.
Put all of that stack on, and all of a sudden, yeah, it gets pretty good. It's a shame that it had resistance to it, but yeah, you just need to get Kesh some magic damage, and we're good.
I did try to get a magical weapon.
Yeah, I know.
I just politely asked one, I really loved the moment where I'm like, what do? And you like snap your fingers, light the fire, set your feathers on fire. It's like,
yeah,
it's like, you do that. That seems like the worst thing. I love it because you did it in front of the council member and everybody. You're like, seems like the worst possible person to bring on this.
Hey, what's your power? I set myself on fire.
I set fires. Wait, we're going to stop that. Yeah, I'm real good at
We're
it.
going to throw him at the fire. And hope
You fight fire with fire, right? So
Yeah.
you put
Yeah.
the fire in the fire,
Said
and
the thing. She said the thing. She said the thing.
There was
Nikolai?
one moment where I think Eric went back to talk to Havel, like after we had our council meeting, and Josh, you said something like, "Oh, you're probably thinking like, what the hell did you sign me up for, asshole?" And then Eric sort of like translated that. He's like, "Oh, what the hell did you sign me up for, sir?"
that was the best. Yes.
It just represents like his more reserved nature so well.
Yes.
yeah, I love little details that reveal so much about a person.
Yeah.
Reserved is been a challenge for me, self-imposed challenge, because normally when I play D&D, I'm the face of the party or the highest charisma of the party, and I'm usually the one that does the most talking. So I have a charisma of 8. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where that will lead me.
Yeah, absolutely. Got any from chat? I love how he's all, dude, I'm solo. The fuck? From Ermi. Hell yes. Yeah, enlarge and haste. That's a good combo. Alrighty. Let's talk about Josh. I like talking about Josh. Josh, what did you do super good? Other than, you know, the everything.
Sorry, I was like, I was thought that you were talking about yourself.
I hate talking about me.
Bullshit. I liked that I was like, what the fuck do I need for this thing? Like, you're like, you're preparing. You're like, what do you need? I'm like, I really want to smell some incense right now. Like IRL. I'm like, I just want some incense. I really just want some fucking incense. Like, this room is a bit like musty, and I'm like, this fucked me up. So then lent into it when everyone's like, incense.
You want some incense, buddy? We can hook you
Fucking
up.
incense.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's nice playing an arrogant character for once. I'm trying to play nice characters, and it just doesn't get you anywhere. You play fucking rude assholes, and it just, you know, people go, yes.
You see, this is it. I wouldn't agree. I actually don't think he is arrogant. I think he's just completely unaware. And I really enjoyed him. I really enjoyed because maybe you were aiming for arrogant, and maybe I'm completely misconstruing you, but I really got that he was just didn't understand people. I got like massively autistic, if anything.
All right, so there was one thing I regretted, and it was because I knew the moment was coming that I was like, I was hoping with the incense that I would get it, like, how would you want to do this? And I was like, I can't bring myself to say the words, but I was gonna say, can you smell what the elk is cooking? And I was like, oh, like I reserved myself.
Thank you. Amazing though. Amazing.
But that was my favorite. That's about it.
Yeah.
I was like, I set up. That's it. Done. Thank you.
Well, look, you should.
The like my favorite moment was smell that. That's
the
good
good
shit. That
shit.
was still really freaking good.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is the good shit.
Yeah.
Metaphorically and literally.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I really liked that moment too. But a second moment is, well, behind the handlebar mustache is I'm the healer of the party. The barbarian has just gone down. Do I heal? Nah, fuck that. Here's a spiritual weapon.
Well, don't you remember that, like, when he's like, oh yes, he's been highly recommended. He's a healer. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yes. That is theoretically within my skill set. Fortunately, there's a ranger and a druid in the party as well, so
Yeah. We're
we
very good on heals.
yeah. And look, my spells are more effective when they're dead. So I don't want to waste.
he was
those
only
spells.
unconscious. Yeah.
Also, I never really said what my spiritual weapon looked like.
Oh yeah.
I never did, and
Is
I
it
apologize.
a massive rack of antlers and you just smack them with people?
No, that's too boring.
Fire sticks of incense at people.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, sticks of incense. No, it's actually a pine cone. Actually, a pine cone, and it does like that, like like and like carousel music starts playing as it fucking drills into them.
Love it.
That's
I love
dope.
it. Yeah.
Hi, Phoenix and Wacky. Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining. Favor Josh, can you smell that? This is the good shit. Yeah, I enjoyed being asked as a priest, do you have the good shit? He's like, yeah, bro.
I gotcha.
5 gold pieces. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll give you 5 gold pieces worth of incense. Fuck it.
Was that
What do we-
blessings be upon you, whatever?
Yeah, he's like, yes, the whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Such a good character. Just the intro as well. Of just like, I'm just gonna go around and just
Stare at people.
Till they're
We are
like,
friends.
That's how you make friends. I was like, okay, yeah.
My God, the freaking like you wanna go, and it looks like they're gonna fight, and he's like, we're gonna be friends. And Arthur's just
It
like,
works.
yeah,
It's
we're gonna be
always
friends.
Great.
Become friends, it works.
I told you, just stare, and that's it.
Yeah.
While we're on Javier, I just wanted to shout out D-Rab, whose favorite was all of us trying to pronounce Javier during introductions. Javier.
Javier. Yeah. Serum76 also says a favorite Josh the gold leaf discussion. I was like, oh yes, do you know anyone getting married soon? It's like, no, I'm not. I'm what? No.
No, I'm making friends.
I will
on
come to
LinkedIn.
their wedding with gold leaf in my antlers. I'm like, yeah, all right. Great, love it, amazing. Let's talk about Nikolai. Favorite Nikolai moments. I have one straight off the bat. I wrote it down. It's the only one I did write down. I'm going to steal it before anybody else does. I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah.
Also, the goose is cooked. The goose was cooked. It wasn't really a Nikolai moment. It was really just that's a silly thing to say. But yeah, that was like, oh, he's cooked. I'm like, thank you for setting that shit up. That was great. Yeah. All right, other people can now go. I've taken mine. Rage goose.
Leading to that moment, I love, and this is a pretty classic barbarian thing, and I love that you survived it. But oh cool, I get knocked unconscious, I get brought back up. I'm gonna fight the thing that knocks me unconscious again, and then surviving it was brilliant. I think says a lot about Arthur. And actually, what says more about Arthur is the fact that after surviving that hit, he then backed up,
Yeah.
which I wasn't expecting, actually.
Well, he didn't go.
You've got to take a tea out at some point, you know?
Yeah, he didn't go back into a rage, did he?
He did.
Oh, he did. Oh, he's... Okay, he's not an idiot.
Got angry again.
Yeah. It's like, "Ah,
The rage
I'm
never
all covered in ash. Ah, it's my good hat."
The voice as well is brilliant. for
Yeah, so
Arthur.
good.
Nikolai, yeah.
I love the reaction when his flat cap got singed. I can't remember exactly what you said, but in my memory, it's you bastard.
Yeah.
Singe my hat, now you die.
I love about Arthur that it says Afron because I am dyslexic.
I haven't noticed.
It says Afro on the overlay. I will fix it. But
I was wondering.
I read it as Afra because there's a character in a series of books I love called Afra. And as soon as Nikolai corrected me and he said it in the accent, I was like, right, I'm sorry. That's much better. I've been spelling it Afra the entire time. All of my emails to the artist who's doing the art for us, everything, everywhere I've spelled it, it's been Afra. So I will change that shit right now, while we also talk about other people and how great they were. Yes, Afra. Arthur. Has everybody spoken nice things about Nikolai?
I enjoyed, even at the very beginning, when you're experiencing your alcoholism, you know, that I enjoyed that character element a lot. That was, I spoke waves of a goose that just fucking drinks himself silly and hits things with hammers.
That's
I'm pretty sure I've met that goose before.
Pretty sure I have been that goose.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm actually sorry. As Javier, he's actually dazzled by you. He's like,
Oh my.
you don't need no healing. I'm like, all
I
right.
could see that connection that when you first met after you made eye contact. That was great.
Intense bond
This
has
goose and this elk.
Gotta be bros. Be bros.
And they both look like people you do not want to fuck with.
Yeah, absolutely. I really love that Serum just went and fixed it, and I also went and fixed it, and I'm dyslexic, so I didn't notice that he'd already fixed it. So I fixed it back. No, his name is Afra, damn it. It's now right. Leave it.
No one touch it. I
Josh just grew it, yeah.
For just being like, I'm gonna get some buckets of water.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, coming along with the what? Not stirrups. I'm imagining like a milkmaid
Yoke,
style
yoke.
yoke. Amazing. Alrighty. Well, yeah. Shall we?
DM moment.
God dang it! They're
Yeah.
not gonna let me get away with it.
Get out of there.
All right. My favorite DM moment. I enjoy going all wordy and doing the descriptions. And yeah, dropping an epic amount of lore. Honestly, to be honest, like I was like, I'm aware that most of the group has not watched Humblewood, so they aren't aware of a lot of the lore behind it. Sounds great. All of this sounds great. But yeah, I enjoyed getting to use Larimar a bit more as well, because Larimar has been a character already, and yeah, getting to be Larimar and Memphis as well. I quite like Memphis.
Oh, actually, on that note, I did write notes because I figured I'm gonna have to remember these characters. So I started writing at this point and then
Sure.
didn't continue.
Memphis, best.
Yeah. Got this, man. Deep lore here.
Yeah, Memphis is a colonel in the Perch Guard, and he looks like a pheasant, and that's all you need to know.
He's a colonel.
There you are. Cool. Other people can say nice things about me.
I too do not know much about the lore of this world, so I mean, it was, I think, the right thing for my character to not be in the city, but also I love how you use that as a moment to get me connected with an NPC,
Yeah.
with Havel, and you brought me and Eric into kind of the lore at the same time, and made me feel like, okay, I know what my role here is as character and person, and so that was a really great moment of storytelling for
Cool.
me.
Thank
and
you.
lore dump for me.
Yeah, and Lord Dump. Yeah.
Just before I lose my train of thought and it goes into the wilderness, I particularly enjoyed, because, you know, we worked together not too long ago about how this is all going to go. So I was like, this will be interesting. No idea. But it made sense. It flowed. So I didn't have to like pull at random strings. I was like, oh, this is easy. Awesome, fantastic. And you know, when the issue with getting like random people with different backstories into one location and getting them going together sometimes is a bit of a hassle, and you were just like, no, we're here now and we're moving along, and it's
You
like,
all just
okay.
show up, deal with it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no time for tension, don't worry about it. Like, so that was great. I really enjoyed that, just getting straight to the shit after you're like, exposition, now here we go. All right. And I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like really good pacing. Like I love lore dumps, so I really appreciate that, especially as someone new to Humblewood. But I loved the vignettes for like the characters at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just having just giving that moment for each of us to have a, I don't know, to like show off our characters before we band into an adventure is really fun. And also just like the Wildwood Brigade that we're saving, just like I'm just imagining one guy with a Jenga block tower that's falling, and he's desperately trying to keep it up by casting Healing Word at it.
All I know is Healing Word, and I'm running out of spell slots. Fuck. And he's got like a broken leg, and he's like, I could heal me, but this seems more important. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry for being a hungry boy. Oh, okay. Brendan, you don't need to read serums. You don't need to read serums. Oh, you're gallant?
That's me.
So I asked you to roll in chat? I didn't realize. Okay.
I rolled a 4.
Naughty boy. Yeah, good. Thank you. That was great. Yeah, Brendan, you don't need to read serum's comment at all. It's mostly just shit to bait me. The hero of the greatest hero of all time is a guy called Phil Gart, though. I will give that. Thank you. Yeah, fuck you, Serum.
I did hear about Soft Gap before
Yeah.
we started this stream, and
The rock that sometimes looked like a frog always looks like a goddamn frog!
my only regret is that we haven't found our Soft Gap moment yet.
Yeah,
But
we'll get there.
hopefully that will come soon.
The goose is cooked wasn't quite hashtagable, but it's pretty good. Cool. Alrighty. Let's go away from here now. We've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I've taken up a good portion of everybody's evenings. It's been a genuine pleasure role-playing and playing a brand new game of Humblewood with these guys. So thank you so much for coming along and hanging out with me, dudes and dudettes. And is there a gender-neutral dude? Probably not. Look. Person. Thank you, guys, for coming. Thank you, Serum, for your amazing work correcting my corrected spelling mistakes. And Karen, for all your love and support. Genuinely, this channel wouldn't have happened without them. Now, guys, we do still have our charity is still open. Our charity support donations are still open. Donations. If you do have any spare pennies to donate to childhood cancer support, we are still open until midnight tonight. Every 5 handsome Australian dollary dues you donate gets you an entry into the prize draw to win some beautiful dice. They arrived this morning from Roll with Advantage, and there's also an amazing dice box not dissimilar to this one from Wooten Forge Gaming Accessories. Nikolai and Josh have them as well, so does Karen. Yeah, because we all did a thing for Wooten Forge, and they gave us one. Mine's Jarrah. It's very pretty. Ours, the one we're giving away, is a Tasmanian black oak. Blackwood, and it's inlaid with red Bordeaux leather. It's one-of-a-kind piece. They're not going to make another one like it. They promised. It's really pretty. So yeah, if you want to win one of those, please chuck us a donation. We've raised over $1,100 for childhood cancer support. They messaged me today personally to tell me that gets us over a week's worth of support for a family in going through one of the shittest things that a family can possibly go through, having a family member dying of cancer or suffering from cancer and getting treatment for it. So it's an amazing thing that we've managed to do, and I'm super proud of us as a community. Thank you guys so much for being involved in it. Right. Let's do our sign-offs, and then we'll go and raid somebody. So we'll go in reverse order. Brendan, tell us who you are and where we can find you, my friend.
I'm Brendan. You can find me in the Perth Theatre Circuit.
Yes, we can.
And with other digital projects coming up soon.
Sick. Love it. Karen, who are you? Where can we find you?
I am Karen, otherwise known as the Mother O Bunnies on Twitter, where you can follow me and listen to me tweet.
The twatter.
Tweet doesn't make sense, really. You can also follow my burlesque alter ego, Miss Lola Moore, over on Instagram. I do have a show on the 3rd of October at Rosemate Hotel, Cinema La Burlesca, which you can already buy tickets for if you want to come. It's a little cheaper if you buy your ticket in advance. And not
I will be there. So you can hang out with me and watch Karen be sexy.
Out.
I won't be hanging out, I'll be filming, but...
The act I'm doing is not very sexy, it's very silly, though. I don't know, is it still sexy if it's ridiculous?
Which one are you doing? Is it the Austin Powers one?
Austin Powers, yeah.
Excellent. It's one of the best. If you fancy it, it's one of the best. It's very funny. Yeah.
And I'll also be performing in the Perth Bellas Festival Roadshow in Geraldton on the 30th of October, which I'm allowed to say now.
And I'll also be there.
And you can also check out There Be Dragons, the podcast, in which I play Roland Westfall. And obviously, I will be back here next Thursday.
Yeah, you will.
Kesh once more.
Splendid. As will Brendan, just FYI. All right, and as will the rest of them. It's not at spoilers. Josh, tell me who you are and where we can find you.
Well, my name is Joshua Towns, and I do many different things, including, but not limited to, theatre, and specifically musical theatre here in Perth. Currently, I'm in a production of Little Women, which is being shown at the Old Mill Theatre in South Perth. I am doing a show for Fringe as well, coming up as well, so I'm doing lots of rehearsals for that. But mostly I'm recovering because I'm having surgery on my knee, and it's very, very, very painful. So check me out next week, and Banjo as well. Banjo's also signing off. Banjo does cat things, and he does them well, and he pees on things, which is also a cat thing. So yeah, thank you for inviting me on and having me here. I am just my mind's done now. I've said my one-liner and I killed the thing, so I'm done.
Thank you very much, Josh. Nikolai, tell me who you are and where we can find you.
Hi, I'm Nikolai. You can find me just kind of floating between here and Roll for Damage. Spoilers, I'm gonna be here next week. You can follow me at Twitter at Cossack Nico if you'd like, and I might tweet something, maybe.
Or he'll just sit there being tagged in my tweets.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mesdames et Messieurs, dames und Herren and beings of indeterminate gender and persuasion, I am Josh the Pirate. I am the DM here at of Humblewood here on Corsair's Cove on Thursday nights. I am also the DM of Humblewood of Flocks and Fire over on Roll for Damage on Monday nights, both 8 p.m. AWST. GMT +8, so please come and check them out. Chuck us your follows. Head on over to our socials. We have most of the socials. If you want to follow us on any of them, we've got the Insta, we've got the Facebook, we've got the Twitter, so you can check us out on any of those for updates on upcoming shows. We will be having a few more things coming in the future. We've got another one-shot Wednesday will be happening in a few weeks. We'll have and then a 3-shot Wednesday, which will be the back half of Rhythm of the Mind's Avatar 6 ep series, which will the first 3 will be on Wednesday nights on Roll for Damage, and then the next 3 will be here on Corsair's Cove with the crew from that, which is Axel Bebbington, AJ Winters, Dan Swelto, and Matt Brown from Split the Party, which is rather exciting. And yeah, in the new year, the very special Rachel Foucault will be running a campaign here on Corsair's Cove on Sunday afternoon, starting in February. So there's lots of stuff in the works. Keep attuned to all of our socials to find out more of that. I'm also the DM, as Siren points out, of Grumblewood, but I can't guarantee the Grumblewood will ever happen again. It was a very special one-shot. We do need to know what Dark Bennick is like. Probably a vegan, because he's a cannibal at the moment. So... spoilers, and that's like legit actual Bennick. Yeah, if you like my face and voice, you can find me in Paparotica at Fringe World. We will be doing Paparotica 7 at Fringe World. I can't like be specific about where because we're embargoed, but it will be happening. Deal with it. And if you like the majestic voice, but you think I could stand to turn the face down a bit, I am the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar und his little dragon Frosh in the podcast There Be Dragons. So you can check that out at therebedragonscast.com. Guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you for all the follows and chat. Thank you for just supporting us. It's really it's people like you guys that make us want to do the things that we do. It's really exciting, and we will be back next week.